they do look, especially in the walkouts and setting up here for this game today. I'm worried about their map pool a little bit. I've been saying it since the start of the stage, especially when Vine was in, but even because PRX have looked at least decent at Ascent.
470 घोड़े पे PRX मेरे लोड़े पे
अरे
PRX अच्छा खेलती है भाई
अरे तो पेला था ना PRX को पिछले मैच में
जी में कोई इंडियन है नहीं है ना
तो क्या हो गया और तो इंडियन है ना
और इंडियन में नाम ग्लोबल है
ठीक है डन है डन है डन है डन है डन है
in a best of 5 where do they come up because you kind of want them to come up early you want to get some momentum you don't have to rely on
मेरे को पहले ही करनी चाहिए थी ना तेरे वेट ही नहीं करना चाहिए था कॉल का
आ गया
Good coaching staff is where there's winning gold. When you're preparing for a best of 5 series, when you're going through all of the ideas of what map should we ban and what's the order of the maps and how do we want to approach things.
मैं कर लूंगा तू मार सुबह मैं प्लान भी कर लूंगा.
Can actually win you a map and make a big difference in a best of 5, especially if you know your opponent very well. So I'm keeping an eye.
वहनी देखो म्यूट कर रहा हूं ठीक है गेम खत्म हो जाएगा
Also, do we get a comp swap on a map that maybe they're not as confident on, and does it actually hit and make some impact?
रुक जा वो अपलोड कर देता हूं
Winning this best of 5 against PRX or maybe getting swept aside 3-0 or 3-1.
No, that's correct. If there's anything left cooking in the kitchen, now's the time to bring it out, right? Of course, when you're up against PRX,
पता नहीं बिजी भाई
you kind of know exactly what to expect at this point, but
ये हनी को पूछा आज खेलेगा प्रीमियर
पता तो सब रहता है पता
हनी प्रीमियर खेलेगा अनम्यूट करिए इसे
PRX defined their own meta. They love double duelists, they want W gaming and they love being aggressive. And now the meta across the world has sort of converged on this style. I think a lot of people are understanding what PRX are being able to do.
प्रीमियर खेलेगा आज
Quality of player.
क्या खेलेगा
प्रीमियर
in the server that sets
मैं घर पे नहीं हूँ 27 तक बोला
तो अभी कहाँ है
अभी मैं घर आया था काम से फिर से थोड़ी देर खेलूंगा और चला जाऊंगा शाम को
मेरे को ना इसके थोड़ी सोवरिन वाली वाइब आती है
इसके और उसके बाद सेम सेम ही ऑलमोस्ट
नहीं नहीं
हाँ
है हमारे लिए बोल रहा था
पर हरकतें भी भाई
हरकतें
especially as a rookie team or an underdog team at times
I don't know photo upload करिए
And there's also something about aura. There's also something about
नहीं
aura
अभी
when you
वीडियो में देखना
come on stage and you face these players. It's like for some reason I am walking into something's up. For some reason I am drawn to this and I know I shouldn't be walking.
अरे मात चुदा ने क्या गोवा विजिबल चल रहे हो बताओ
इधर भाई इधर ही जा रहे का मैंने मेरा भाई तो पहाड़ पे नहीं गया ना
I mean, I felt this firsthand, right? I've been on teams that have played against PRX, and it doesn't matter what work you do in the week, however much you prepare.
ये लेडीज ग्रुप इसी
guys
की
are
है
going to run at you, guys they're going to be waiting for you. Something is different in that server. These players are just of such a insane caliber. In that moment, that little seed of doubt can creep into your mind, and it changes the whole game. This is what PRX are.
टोटल 4-5 दिन के बाद मैं फ्री हूं भाई चल रहा है
I
तो
mean, if you're in a 1v1 and you're telling me
चल
like,
सकते
okay,
मैं
you're
भी
playing
फ्री
against for
मैं तो हमेशा फ्री
I
रहता
mean, anybody I feel like would be
अरे
shaking, right?
उछल
Be
जा
like, oh wait, hold on, I'm gonna second guess myself over here.
तो कहां
But
चले
let's see
गए
what we have in store because I believe
तो दिल्ली
Victoria
में तो
caught up with
कैंसर थोड़ी के लेना है जो दिल्ली जाऊं
but let's see what she has in store for us.
Hey Autumn, with OS being part of Pacific, you are
रुक जाओ let me watch the interview.
only Australian to qualify to Masters
ये
and
कौन है
Champions throughout VCT history. What does that milestone mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to represent my country, especially with all this what's happened in Oz. Like,
अरे 66 मारा उसको मैंने यहाँ पे वॉल बैंक सोच
yeah, I think it's really important to me to represent my country.
अरे इंटरव्यू किसके लिए देख रहे हैं टोटल
Huge deal to our Aussie cast.
Obvious reason, bro.
Really happy you're
Autumn.
flying the Australian flag.
ऑटम नहीं उसके बाजू
साले
ऑटम के साथ जो खड़ी है ना बॉटम
But now today's going to be the 5th time you're facing them. How do you feel
बॉटम
about
के
that?
लिए
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think they're like the best team in the world. So yeah, I'm.
साले
सच्ची लड़कियों के सामने इंटरव्यू
वो
में
स्ट्रीम
मैं
कर
तो ना
रहा है
बोलता हूँ
वो
भाई
स्ट्रीम कर रहा है रे
Actually, but I think the most important thing in today's match for the 5th time.
वो पर अपना भाई का बात नहीं है रे उसने वो राइट्स लिए रे कोई गलती से राइट वाला आके देख लिया ना सुन लिया ना
राइट से परमिशन ले गया स्ट्रीम करने की
हां फिर साले
I wanted to hear more.
क्या बात कर रहा है पेपर कौन दे दिया
That's also an interesting matchup.
टोटल है ना बैठा
Autumn
अपना
and how
जो
happy it
आता है
makes
सब
अरे
the Aussie
टोटल
casters
क्या दिक्कत है
and the Aussie talent that he is
कुछ
here
भी मत बक
representing.
फिर ये और जिससे लिए ना उसको सपोर्ट करना उसको गाली मत देना
अच्छा ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स से लिए
साले
Honestly, in the last two series,
इसीलिए
एक ही टीम ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट
कुछ पता ना मैंने भाई इनको थंबनेल दिखा वाली
ये देखो ये देखो ये दिखाओ क्या
हाँ दिखा दिखा
ये देखो
But unfortunately, they don't know who the fuck they are.
Then PRX is winning.
इसने मेरे को दोनों भेजे मैंने बोला ये यूज
biggest one of the biggest stages in the world, and you have players that maybe aren't up to it, but
ये डालना तू इस पे
डाल रहा हूँ ना इंस्टा पे वही कर रहा हूँ कैप्शन बता
डाल
रहा
भाई डाल
Let's send it back.
अरे कैप्शन ओजी बताएगा भाई बताओ
उसी कैप्शन बताओ
विजी से पूछ
ये चाहिए ना तेरे को रेड बुल का ऐसा छोटा फ्रिज
International,
हाँ,
but
हाँ।
I have to say it doesn't
Total
actually
order
get
करने ही नहीं
easier
होता है
winning
वो
trophies. every
विजी
single
भाई
time. Does
कैप्शन बताओ
Yeah, getting trophies.
अभी जो दिखाई
But also I think
उसका।
being able to qualify to a lot of
इंस्टा पे अपलोड कर रहा हूँ
It's also very hard, and I'm glad that we managed to pull this through. And yeah, hope to see you guys in London.
So it's very challenging.
देख PRX का नाम तो यूज कर रहे हैं टाइटल में because PRX it has the biggest audience pool I think पूरे VCT में
देख दूसरे कंट्री में मिल रहा है अगर तू अमेज़न स्विच कर लेना दूसरे कंट्री का तो
And also, I mean, vice versa.
तो मिल
And I
जाएगा
hope it's gonna be a good game against Batman. He's been hit lately.
अरे वो
And
इंपोर्ट
we gotta show harder.
होके आएगा और उसको कितना
Well, the
लगेगा
Vietnamese fans are really happy to see PaperX
अरे
after
कुछ
that intense
दूसरी
finals
कंट्री से होगा
yesterday.
I
ही नहीं
support
Have any message for them?
जी नहीं
Yeah, I mean,
Who
thank you
should I
so much for
support? ऐसा
coming.
कुछ
That
डालना
was
भाई पता नहीं
amazing. We could hear you guys cheering for
ना
us
ना
very
ना
loud.
वो
So,
फनी का
thank you.
एलिमेंट ही निकल जाएगा
Oh, thank you, Devai.
ऐसा डबल ढोल की टाइप वगैरह ऐसा कुछ तो
Wow,
बोल ले
bringing out the
टाइप कर दे
Vietnamese there.
मतलब मैं
Okay,
जस्ट
and,
जनरली
yeah,
आइडिया दे
eyes
नॉट
on
जस्ट कि
Batman
ये
apparently.
डालना
How
ऐसा
maybe not?
उसके रिगार्डिंग उसके अराउंड कुछ तो डालना
मैं भी वही सोच रहा हूँ
डबल ढोल की के अराउंड ऐसा कुछ
His
तो
hair was still wet, but he
He
is
sounds like it's his 5th time going up against.
I play for the winning team ऐसा कुछ ना
भाई ये तो देख ये रेड बुल का वो
प्ले
स्पॉन्सर
क्यों भाई रूट फॉर द
जो टीम जीती वो मेरी
Taiwan has been someone who's given them a hard time in a lot of these matchups. He's
रुको
someone they're
रुको
gonna
रुको
Jonathan
रुको
गेम
today.
वो है ना
Try and neutralize if they
Ambassador.
get
जिंग
this
खेल
win,
रहा
you
है
know,
जिंग
Sponsor
खेल
by-
रहा
for
है
the last time. They
और
were
उसका
जॉनथन
official
गेम
page
इज
में वो
छोड़
भी है
भाई
भाई।
वेनम
बढ़िया
भी
बढ़िया
है
अली भाई बढ़िया हाल
नाम है
चाल
उसका
वेनम भी है भाई
क्या
अंकित
रखूँ
पंत भी है भाई
थ्रॉटल क्या रखूँ कैप्शन
for a while, and he's had some big games on it
Ah.
earlier on, so it would be nice to
Techno
be off
gamers
the wall,
to have.
dude. You know,
Winning team
it
is my
one thing
team.
to stare at a wall and then put the Viper wall up and just say, okay, well
मजा
up,
नहीं
guys.
है
उससे
तो
But
funny
Tecurs
डालना
is a
भाई,
little bit
इतना
of a
funny
different
रील
इतनी
player
बार
now.
तूने
I've mentioned
Instagram पे
before,
लोगों के
though,
कैप्शन पढ़े हैं
rematch of the
intensely.
rematch of the rematch of the rematch in a best of 5 here. You know, you can see between GE
Well,
and
use
PaperX,
अरे
and you can see the record.
G और
GE
PRX का
has
नाम डाल
PaperX,
बस तो कैप्शन में
but
VCT
GE
डाल VCT
definitely
Pacific
earned
डाल
the London qualification against
Masters
PaperX
London
last time around, and Pearl was not
हनी
close at
इतना
all. They
हनी
completely
इतना
destroyed
हग्गू
them.
जैसा
Yeah,
क्यों
I
खेल
think
रहा
for
है
me, the thing about that game is I felt G's hunger. You could see how much it meant to them to qualify for that first time. To, you know,
मामला
upset this
गर्म
streak
है
that
मैच
PaperX has
का
brought, but I don't think
VCT
PaperX are going to make the same mistake this time. They don't want to lose twice in a row to this
Indian
GE
में
team.
नहीं दिखेगा,
They're
हिंदी
going to
में।
be hungrier today to advance to that
Oh,
final.
for
और
sure.
हिंदी में
It's
होती नहीं ना
definitely
casting
scary. I mean, like PaperX isn't the
क्या
kind of
बात
team
कर
that
रहा है?
you can do
हाँ।
तू
something
बोल
like
रहा
that twice in a row.
चलो आज करेंगे हम
They're gonna
casting
fix everything, and for sure these
Done है।
players, like,
ए
once
बट
you
ये अपन
strike,
प्लेऑफ
like,
के लिए
this pressure
क्वालिफाई
is hard,
हुए
but
तो अपन
I
लोअर
definitely
फाइनल्स में
don't
क्यों
wanna
है
take away
क्योंकि
क्या
कल
सीन
हार
है
गए ना
कल हारे ना हम
that,
sure.
क्या?
qualification
कल हार गए ना?
because this was well earned on the side
Okay.
of global esports. I want them
Our
to
Qualify
situation
और कल
is
हार
hot
गए।
that's actually something they can do.
क्वालिफाई तो हम मास्टर्स लंदन के लिए हुए हैं
They've
भाई
never been, and
ये
you
VCT
know,
पैसिफिक
even
का
if
ये
they
तो
don't
खत्म
win this
करना
best
होगा
of
ना
5, if they can be competitive and they can take a couple of maps, then they go over to London and do some damage, then that's going to be good enough as far as I'm concerned. You know, they've already
ये
done
जीतना
something
है भाई।
historic for this organization. This team is, you know, fantastic. It's been constructed over time. Great coaching staff, great
चल
players
बता
across
क्या
the
है, ठीक
board.
है?
Rookie IGL
किधर
is
जा
doing
रहा?
very well for himself, so how could you not be a fan of GE right now?
Absolutely. I mean, they are so popular because they hit so many different fan markets as well.
Yeah.
I know that the Pinoys
bye,
have been
bye.
on board globally.
ओए ओए
esports,
अब मैं
but
कास्टिंग
more
करता हूँ
so,
इसको
they
बंद
have a
करिए
player
इसका मुंह
like
बंद करा
Autumn as well. He is
म्यूट
just
कर
so
दे म्यूट
तो भाई वो ऑटम भाई जो है हमारे हरियाणा थे उनकी एसीएस जो है बहुत ही सेक्सी है और ऑटम भाई जो है प्रेफर करते हैं चेम्बर खेलना और ऑटम भाई ने कल जो चेम्बर्स पे शॉट मिस किए हैं ना मतलब ऐसी तो मन तो ऐसा कर रहा था कि फ्रॉस्ट भाई के चाटा मैं खुद ही मारूं ऑटम भाई को लेकिन नॉनदलेस ऑटम भाई की केडी भी काफी अच्छी है 1.32 वीसीटी सर्किट इज एब्सोल्युटली क्रेजी और देखने वाली बात होगी क्या ऑटम भाई आज चाटे बजा पाते हैं बिकॉज ऑटम भाई ने पिछले मैचेस में बहुत चाटे बचाए हैं और स्पेशली जब लास्ट बार PRX इनकी लड़ाई हुई थी, उन्होंने 4 सेकंड को चुपचाप से डाउन करा दिया था ऑफ बैटल्स में। जब भी 4 सेकंड मिड पीक करता था उसको एक चाटा पड़ता था ऑटम की तरफ से। तो आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड टू सी कि आज ऑटम क्या करने वाला है स्पेशली। बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर फॉर ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स विल ऑल्सो बी पैटमैन, और पैटमैन के स्टैट्स यहाँ पर अगर प्रोडक्शन जल्दी से ले आए तो अच्छा होगा।
क्रेजी।
सुन थ्रॉटल,
हाँ
उधर मैं कैप्शन में ना विच टीम यू आर सपोर्टिंग और पोल डाल देता हूँ।
डाल दे
डाल दे।
ये भी सही है ना?
डाल दे। ऑटम कितना ईमो भाई पोज दे रहा है भाई।
अरे वेफर ऐसा ना, इफ डोगला बीइंग ऐसा कुछ तो,
इफ बीइंग दोगला वाज अ स्पोर्ट्स।
हाँ बराबर।
दोगले का वो क्या होगा इंग्लिश वर्ड?
इंग्लिश क्यों डालना है, हिंदी में डाल।
अरे मेरी आधी ऑडियंस इधर की है ना।
इफ डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स,
नहीं एक्चुअली उसके इंटरनेशनल ऑडियंस है तो उसको इंग्लिश में डालने दो।
तो दोस्तों PRX के कुछ आ गई है वो बता थोड़ा।
नाउ वी सी समथिंग, ना समथिंग इज द बेटर रशियन अमंग्स द लॉबी टुडे। ऑटम जो है एक बहुत ही अच्छे प्लेयर हैं, नहीं ऑटम क्या, क्रिस्टल इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर। बट यहाँ पे समथिंग ने हर बार जब भी इनकी लड़ाई हुई है क्रिस्टल ने को तोड़ के रखा है समथिंग ने। एंड समथिंग का ACS स्पीक्स फॉर हिमसेल्फ वंस अगेन, वन ऑफ द क्रेजीएस्ट प्लेयर्स आउट देयर। ऑब्वियसली इनकी KD थोड़ी कम है बिकॉज ही जनरली डजंट प्ले ड्यूलिस्ट का रोल, बट ऑब्वियसली 4 सेकंड को सपोर्ट करने के लिए जो सबसे आगे बंदा चलता है इज समथिंग। एंड guys, my bad, he is the duelist in the team.
क्रेजी भाई।
लगता तो थ्रॉटल ही है।
या समेटो।
and being a duelist, उनके जो stats हम देख पा रहे हैं यहाँ पे पिछले मैच के अगेंस्ट T1 is again a very crazy team, हमें पता है। और the ACS bro 269, 69 is obviously just 2 short of 6-7, but 69 is also a very good number. Obviously the KD, look at his op shots bro, that speaks for him. और यहाँ पे कितना पेशेंस के साथ वेट करता है समथिंग, एंड ही जस्ट लेट्स हिज ओपोनेंट्स वॉक इनटू हिज क्रॉसहेयर। और बकचोदी तो करता ही है ऑब्वियसली। भाई मेरा थोड़ा गला सूख रहा है, थोड़ा चिपिंग करेगा कोई यहाँ पे।
क्या कैप्शन क्या था ओजी?
इफ डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स बीइंग अ स्पोर्ट।
भाई क्या क्रेजी सेटअप है।
अभी लड़की की आवाज में कौन बात करेगा, वैसे मैं करके दिखाऊं?
ये तो विजुअल कर सकते हैं।
नहीं ओजी करेगा।
मैं कैसे करूंगा भाई?
मैंने ओजी की क्यूट आवाज सुनी है, ओजी करके दिखा दे।
नहीं
उस दिन सुनी थी ना।
नहीं मैं जा रहा भाई।
नहीं अरे देख भाई तूने एम्युनिशन तो दे दिया है, अब तू कुछ नहीं कर।
मेरे को नहीं देना है।
थ्रॉटल है
क्या है भाई?
होचिमिन जगह है साले।
वियतनाम
की जगह है होचिमिन।
और ये एसुस भी स्पॉन्सर है क्या भाई? टफ क्यों रखा है?
ऑब्वियसली
है ना भाई, जोवी है।
रेड बुल वालों मुझे एक फ्रिज भिजवा दो प्लीज।
मुझे भी एक फ्रिज।
मुझे भी
या
भाई।
बता दो मैं पैसा दे दूंगा आपको भाई।
प्रेडिक्शन गाइस, प्रेडिक्शन विजी भाई, प्रेडिक्शन हु डू यू थिंक इज गोना विन दिस मैच?
मीका नहीं विक्टोरिया।
विक्टोरिया मैच जीतेगी जी। और आप पेपर की बात कर रहे हो तो विक्टोरिया बोल रहे हो।
ये जीतेगी बोल रहा है।
विजी भाई इमोशंस कंट्रोल करना सीखो।
5 अगेन लाइक
हम लोग प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हैं कौन जीतेगा।
3 अगेंस्ट 5 भाई। ऑड्स तो देखो
भाई। फुल सपोर्ट टू मीका भाई, फुल सपोर्ट टू मीका।
मीका को
बिग टाइम एंड अचीव।
Yes, that's a big ask, but I got faith.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with PRX, and a lot of people
loyal है भाई, मीका loyal है।
Very good head-to-head record. I think there was some contributing factors of, especially in that Pearl game, them going.
ये बैन आएगा तेरे को VCT से। ये बैन बढ़वाने वाला है भाई, तेरे को नहीं मिलेगा वापस स्ट्रीम करने को।
We saw over in Sangam and over in Seoul, where maybe things were a little bit more familiar, a little bit more comfortable. So for that reason, I'm a PRX guy.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised that I'm the only PRX guy on the desk here, but I mean, I guess...
No, but I mean, you know what? Right. You know what, Pilski? 2 Pinoys is greater than 1 Pinoy.
Fair enough.
So that's That's what I'm going for. But I feel this kind of hunger from global esports. There's a different kind of hunger for them. PRX.
हंगर देख लिया भाई, पिछला मैच देख लिया, ये मैच हंगर दिखाओ रियल वाला, बस
वही
अच्छा लगेगा थोड़ा, दिल को तरह तसल्ली मिलेगी।
वैसे उजी भाई के दिल को तो कुछ और चाहिए, बात अलग है।
Which maps are going to be our battlefield today? We're not seeing
Uzi
Fractures,
White.
neither are we seeing Pearl.
Those are the maps that I expected. GE selecting Haven right off the bat. It's been something that has been a while since PRX have played it, and I'm wondering what they're going to be playing, because I think they were playing Neon last time around, so I'd expect a comp change from them. Lotus out.
PRX 70% lol, वेफर क्या लगता है जी का कंपैक्ट, जी भाई कुछ भी कह सकते भाई, कुछ नहीं कह सकते भाई।
I'm looking forward to Ascent because you know
Heaven और
still running with that
लिया है भाई,
we weren't sure what they were going to do. We haven't seen it really come out.
Throttle देख, अपलोड कर दी।
I want to know what they're cooking up on that map.
Could have a Sage mirror, bro.
It could be a Sage.
When was the last time you saw a Sage mirror?
It's my dream.
Wait, ये कहाँ से मिलेगा ये जो एक्शन फिगर है जेट वेट का?
What are you going to do if they wall up
Amazon देख ले तेरा,
on the attacking side?
That's what I
Amazon
want.
में
You want the Avengers play. You want that yeah.
I think the thing for this veto for me is, you know, I'm kind of surprised to see Global push Breeze right to that 5th map.
Yes.
I think they'll be feeling good about it if it does go the whole way there. But I think that's a map that they've relied on in the past, and you know, they were winning it up until yesterday. So I'm surprised they didn't target that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, PRX have been shaky a little bit up and down on Breeze. I think maybe GE. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, you know, I'd be interested in the minds of both of these teams. But GE, they did kind of get destroyed a little bit by a similar style from Full Sense just yesterday with the double duelist. So I'm wondering if maybe that's kind of knocked their confidence a little bit. I wouldn't
720 पे चल रहा है
I
ना?
agree with you. I feel like Breeze has been a good one for
नहीं
right to the end of the map pool. And Split's an interesting one as well. In the past, it's been really good for GE, but PRX is on a heater on it right now.
They're never bad at Split. It's such a good map for them. So I mean, I think in this map pool, PRX are always tend to be the favorite team. We spoke so much on this desk about how good the map pool is for them. It's on G to get that upset. We will be starting on Haven, which G selected. When we saw it last from the mid, was that deadlock? I wonder if that's the style they're going to run with today.
Yeah, I'm curious. They do like the double senti, and it's something that we saw Full Sense running as well. For PRX, not sure if that's even the right comp. Let me know.
Okay, WhatsApp पे hello भेज.
Yeah, I think it might have been Devi on the chamber, but even if it isn't, I'd love to see.
Last time they played it was Chamber, Neon, Omen, Phoenix, Sova. So it's a comp that they played a lot in the past.
Yeah.
We've seen them have a lot of success with that. Maybe less so with the Neon because they were playing the Yoru Phoenix double flashes. So it's a style that they're very familiar with. I want to see if they run with that, and I'd expect something to come off the Neon and play something different. Maybe just straight back on the
Come on,
I'm just so happy to be on that chamber.
58%.
I want to see him frag out. Oh, this is going to be so fun. But again, GE running with a double sentinel. They're also looking so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a style.
देखो भेजा भाई ये डाल.
Very curious if
क्वालिटी
they go
कितनी
back to
गंदी
it.
आ
I
रही.
think they might feel like it has a lot of stopping power for the aggression of PRX.
तेरे को ही दिख रहा है रे इसमें आया.
Like Hyunmin and KRX really figured that out and ran them around the map a lot with the jet.
अरे क्या भाई ये कौन सी इंग्लिश का कैप्शन लिखा तूने? If double thunder being a spot.
Let's keep the party going. We're sending it to the stage.
ये मेरे को उसी ने बोला.
And PRX.
मैंने वही छेप दिया.
अच्छा तो है साले.
हाँ.
अच्छा तो है.
रुक जा, क्वालिटी खराब थी. मैंने देखा था वो इनसाइट में जाके ना उधर से डालने का, तो रीच ज्यादा आती है.
और ये तूने सेटिंग पर जाके वो डेटा सेवर ऑफ किया ना?
नहीं, अब सही आ रही है क्वालिटी. वो डिस्कॉर्ड से ली थी ना.
निकलता हूँ मैं, ठीक है?
कहाँ जा रहे हो?
ये क्या?
ये आज क्या मैच है क्या वैसे?
हाँ ना.
अबे हाँ यार, आज मैच है.
हाँ मैच है ना.
हाँ. सोता हूँ फिर आ जाऊँगा, ठीक है?
अभी फोन से आता हूँ लाइट नहीं.
अरे लाइट गई.
अरे विजी भाई गलत अलग ही बच.
कोई ना, लगता है इसको बुलाना पड़ेगा.
सच में लाइट नहीं है भाई. आ रहा हूँ मैं पीसी से नहीं फोन से आ रहा हूँ.
It was insane match.
I expected today's matches is gonna be hard because T1 they have a lot of experienced players on, but towards the end I think we managed to stay composed as a team.
When we are in upper bracket, the life feels like a bit easy, you know. We are a bit too chill. Meanwhile, in the lower bracket, we are just.
अब check करा वो reels की quality. आज मजा आ जाएगा.
Yes. We came prepared. They gave us our 2 best maps, and they were the better team today. Reset. I don't think the team's that down. We're still happy with what we did, but of course we didn't get the win. I think for the next game we just go into
ये भी log out होगा.
with nothing to lose mindset. We already made it to London. There should be no more other pressures, and we just play our own game. I think we will hit some shots.
Too tense because it's the match for qualification. Meanwhile, for them, it doesn't feel like they are scared of us. And right now, it's opposite side. We are not scared to play versus them. We are ready to fight.
But especially when it comes to rematch, I think we are quite good. So yeah, stay tuned and let's have some fun, especially Batman.
PRX. It'll be the 5th time to go against them, and we finally beat them. So we all know in ourselves that we can do it. Same thing we did last time. We won't fear who they are, hit our shots, and just play Valorant.
Global Esports.
Pacific, we hope you're ready for this one. Global Esports facing PRX, a rematch built for the big stage. Global Esports coming in as the underdogs in this match. The Misfits of Pacific, as we previously called them. They might have taken a hit yesterday, but we know they can roll with the punches.
We know they've been able to beat PRX before. They've upset the odds before. Hell, they upset all the odds by even being here and qualifying for London. This is just another domino to knock down for this squad and prove they can deserve the hang.
Absolutely, but this is a finals weekend, and what is a finals weekend without PRX? Very few teams in the world can stand up against the W Gaming squad, and they've just qualified for London.
Exactly.
No stopping them now.
Yeah, PRX have really led the way for Supremacy in the past, and now they've got a couple of friends to join them in the top 3 of VCT Pacific. They've got 2 things to settle now. They want a spot in that grand final and another Pacific title, and they also want to make up for the Masters Santiago final over at London and get that W and get another Masters event here at the Big 26 on the way to the end.
Look at that walkout right now. You have Global Esports.
ये क्या है? Camo Studio.
हाँ.
ये अच्छा है.
हाँ, क्वालिटी अच्छी देता है. देखो.
फ्री है या पेड है?
फ्री है, मतलब बस तो.
फ्री है ना?
Shaking with how loud the crowd is here.
It's not live. Is he vlogging? He's vlogging.
He's live streaming this?
He's live streaming the walkout. That's amazing. It's a live stream within a live stream. Oh my gosh.
I love this guy.
POV about to lose
उसके हाथ में देखा कैमरा था फ्रॉस्ट के.
Hold on. We can't get that out just yet.
Crazy है भाई फ्रॉस्ट.
You know that they are feeling good, and they are about to get into one of the toughest matches that they are about to play.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge matchup for both of these teams. I think Global are trying to prove that last time wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't a one-off and that they're here to stay. PRX are proving that once again they have earned a place in the final, that they are the top dogs, that they are the kings of
Batman.
Pacific. And it's been that way for such a long time. Is it time for some new blood today? Ulsense have already made it all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, GE, they've already proven that in a huge pressure game over PRX to qualify for Masters London. But to further illustrate the point, a full best of 5
ये क्या
on the
कोच
stage
है?
here in Ho
हाँ,
Chi Minh,
फ्रॉस्ट
with so
है
many
फिलहाल.
fans screaming and cheering for PRX and cheering against you would be even more legitimizing and give the team a ton of confidence going into London.
Absolutely. A win today would be insane for the confidence of this GE squad as we move towards London.
But look at that. I saw the camera close up on Javi. I like that fire in his eyes. That's very, very dangerous. But even more dangerous is Paper Rex in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
You heard it from the players. They were saying like, okay, upper bracket, it's too easy. We can't win that way. We want to take it the hard way. We want to take it in the most challenging way possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think what is Paper Rex without giving their fans heart attacks? That's what they do.
Part of it.
Exactly.
There's a contract for it that you have to sign as a fan, and that's included.
For sure. I mean, it's almost like they do it on purpose. They always find themselves down here, but they're so good with their back against the wall, and they always rise to that pressure. I think that's why a lot of us are so confident in this Paper Rex squad today. Global, I think this is the first time we're seeing them have to do things like this. The first time in front of a large crowd like this on the big stage. And we saw inconsistencies from them yesterday. We can't hide that. I think we have to discuss it because I want to see them bounce back. I want to see them be stronger on that stage. Show some composure and get yourselves ready for London so that you can have a big performance there.
Yeah, every true competitor goes through this at some point. You have to learn to play on the big stage. You have to learn to
मारा तो
perform in
मेरी
these
तरफ
big
से
games.
5 एडिट और
Anomalies are
जीता
the
तो
players like
किडनी
Ruby
बेच
that are
के
able to
सीन्स
step
दिला
up and do it
अरे
right
भाई
from day
किडनी
dot, but
क्यों
most
चाहिए
people have
तुम्हें
to grind
मेरी
their way there and be able to conjure some self-belief and some
भाई
consistency
ऐसे ही बोलो
in
ना
these big games.
तुम्हें
And I think this is going to be
किडनी
yet
चाहिए
another
मेरी
character development moment from GE. They've already had a couple of them so far this event. Starting off here on Haven, it's a map we haven't seen for a while from Paper Rex, a map that they have run the Neon on and since have moved away from that. For GE, they love to be tricky. They love to change up the approach, change up the
Thorder
top. We've
भाई
seen a lot of
what's
double sentinel from them.
up
I'm wondering
की
if they're going to stick
हाल
with that.
Yeah, I mean, the
चाल
question is very much, are they on that deadlock? It's a style that
Yo,
they've
yo,
been
yo,
towards
what's
in that
up?
map. Frost teams have been playing it in years past also. And speaking to him, he thinks it has so much stopping power in this current meta. So I'm very curious if they go there. You know what? Let me see a Sage.
Interesting that the defense win rates are looking like this because GE in particular, I felt like they kind of got outplayed
For
a little bit
deals
on their defense.
गर्मी में चल रहे अरे गर्मी आज इधर भी बहुत है यार दिखाओ कितनी है
I'm a little bit worried though because especially if Paper X do mix the jet in and they run them around the map like PRX did, then that's something that GE may have some problems with.
That's by far the biggest question. If I'm Paper Rex, I'm putting that jet in, no doubt. We saw how it caused so much headache for them because you're able to get up and over that utility.
13.
You're not held back by it like you are on the ground. Taking a look at
okay.
Whoa.
What?
GE attack.
भाई गर्मी है
Yeah.
इधर
Autumn on the ISO. This is going to be very different for Paper X to play against, who themselves have gone back to something that was working for them in the past. Something on the jet instead of Yoru, and once again, it's time for
अरे गर्मी है भाई 13 अच्छा तो बढ़िया my boyfriend left but I don't miss him thanks अरे भाई
operator was for something yesterday. ISO is one of the best counters in the
Spidey
game
को
for
ये
that
बता
weapon
दिया
with
भाई
his shield. So
my
I think this is a
girlfriend
cooked
left
up anti-strap from Frost.
but I don't
It's okay, girl. We got you. You don't need him. You don't need your boyfriend here.
चल आज 5 बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है पता है ओजी भाई
ये बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है
हाँ आज बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है
It's been 5 times in a row. Divide.
बड़ा आने वाला फिर
हाँ 5 मैच होगा 3 मैच जो जीते जीत गए अरे वो नियॉन खेल रहा है बैटमैन ने ओमन दिया है देखते हैं 4 सेकंड को नहीं ओमन अच्छा खेलता है
अभी तो नियॉन नर्फ बट अभी तो नियॉन नर्फ नहीं हो रहेगा ना
इनका पुराना पैच है
पता है
तो ये चीज उनको बेनिफिट है नहीं तो भाई
a team that was spawned out of the dead Phoenix's ashes of Talon. That's why we have full sense in the in the grand final already waiting. And then we have Global Esports here to play as well. 5th time, Elfish. I mean, can they really beat Paper X a second?
Well, I guess that's the question, isn't it, right? They've already shown the ability to do it once. Why should we not believe that they can not do it again? I suppose the first answer there is that we're on a bigger and better stage, and this is the kind of environment that Paper X really thrives in, right? I feel like they've gone
not in front exactly but ऐसा थोड़ा front से थोड़ा left hand side या right hand side ऐसे रखना वो side view तेरा पूरा like face ही नहीं दिखता तेरा side view
GE coming in with a little bit less momentum, that getting stymied of
That's
course by full sense, who were able to just kind of batter them in that
screen
opening
से
game as well.
थोड़ा और अंदर ले.
So we talk about, you know, the equilibrium between these two teams. Is there an argument maybe
ऐसे?
to be
देखो
made
अभी screen के
that
पास देख.
PRX is on the rise and G
Screen के पास देख.
is
Screen के पास
slowing down
देखना.
a little bit?
That's what it feels like, I think, just from
ठीक है, ये
yesterday's
चलेगा.
game. But in all
ये
that
ठीक है.
time, within
This is
the
good.
maybe 12 hours that they've had just to come back onto the stage again, you're never quite sure. If anything is
अब सही
indicative
है.
of it, you would think to look at the agent composition, so way back in the group stages. But then again,
मैं PRX fan हूँ, फिर भी जी
simplify things and think
देख
back to
क्या
what are the player head-to-heads that we have, who's looking in top
ये
form
तो
right
जिसको
now, and I
support
think the
कर
big
रहे हो
name
उसको
for
support करो
all of us
भाई.
so far has to be something.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think he's had a big turnaround as well, and maybe that's why we've seen PRX kind of on that rise. Obviously, we saw him a little bit earlier in the season playing a lot of Neon, and that obviously wasn't working
ये तो
out for
पैसे खा
PRX,
के
and
बैठे हैं.
then he went back over the Jet, and obviously things started to pick back up at that point. So
है उसी भाई.
I think PRX have found a really
हमको तो
nice
पैसे
timing to
खिलाए
keep
हैं.
their peak, and again, we'll see whether or not they can.
ये तेरा
again
इधर भी
potentially on
चालू है.
another Pacific
हाँ,
stage.
Discord पे
Obviously,
ना,
we'll
हाँ.
see how things end up going when they
बंद
do
कर दे अगर
both
वो
of these
ज़्यादा
teams to make it
खींच
over
रहा
to
है.
London, but
नहीं नहीं कोई
obviously
सीन
a
नहीं.
big game ahead yet to
इसका क्या
decide.
चल
You
रहा
know
है?
how things are going to look obviously going into tomorrow, into that grand final, and of course the seeding going into London. Let's find out as we get underway with
अच्छा
game
अरे इसको
one
म्यूट
of the
नहीं
day.
करा.
बैंड के लोड़ो तुम्हारी
कॉल कर
अरे वो
देता.
shift कर रहा है.
साले कुत्ते हिजड़े म्यूट करके बैठा दिया है मेरे को.
स्ट्रीम कर रहा है साले वो स्ट्रीम.
जीता हार गया.
अच्छा सॉरी. अरे जिता के आया ब्रिम लेके पता नहीं कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ लाइनअप कुछ भी मार रहा हूँ ये देख तो इनसे बेटर हूँ भाई देख अभी भी देख
देखा
डायमंड से better हूँ.
MMR अच्छा है.
अरे मेरे में तो कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ भाई मेरे को तो मजा आ रहा है.
VCT देखना है अभी सब PRX वर्ल्ड.
क्या बोल रहे हो? ओए खेल रहा है तू? मर से आओ ओजी.
नहीं अभी तो स्ट्रीम ये कर रहे हैं वो.
अभी मैंने खेल रहा है. मैं स्ट्रीम करने वाला हूँ थोड़ा टाइम. कॉल ऑफ
कि
ड्यूटी
नहीं
जाएगा
खेलना?
पहला. नहीं कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी जाएगा फिर बाद में सोचेगा मैं.
आजा कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी आजा तो.
वही 8:30
नहीं
बजे खेलेगा तो बता.
अरे वॉरजोन नहीं खेलनी.
वॉरजोन ही बोल रहा मैं.
अब इसका प्लस करने बैठू क्या? मैं खाने को पहले कुछ मंगा लूँ.
कौन लिख रहा है कल आना भाई?
मुझे तो मजा आ रहा है भाई बंदों को इधर मार. अरे 3 मैच कौन हारा है ये कौन हार गया 3 मैच?
दिखा
ये
नहीं ये खेल रहा था स्पाइडी थ्रॉटल के आईडी से था. ये तो स्पाइडी है.
अरे रुक मेरे को क्या करना था मैं भूल गया. खाने के लिए मंगा.
मिल गया साइड बीच.
और नहीं तो
वो
भाई फ्री साइड दे दी.
नहीं है
वो देख समथिंग के पिक्स देखना भी.
नहीं यार नहीं अबे
भाई इनकी सबसे बड़ी गलती पता है क्या है? जी वालों की एक एक करके पीक लेते हैं.
Pacing is always going to be a matter, and even though
कहाँ नाइस वन
he
यार.
managed to take that side
अरे
rather
भाई देखे भी नहीं भाई
they
क्यों?
didn't see anything. They wanted to go a little bit deeper, but PRX were already in that position, ready to trade.
गालियाँ खाने को पिज़्ज़ा मंगाया मैंने.
And to get out, they did. Look at Jing with the fragging.
क्या खेल रहे वे लोग?
That's going to be a big weapon.
लापिनोस मंगाया वैसे भी मैंने ट्राई करूंगा. यहाँ का ट्राई नहीं किया मैंने हिमाचल का भी. ये पिछले एक्ट देखो तो हरा, इस एक्ट देखो तो पूरा नीला. हट छक्का. पिछले एक्ट देखो तो हरा था
मत बोल.
अच्छा हाँ तो स्ट्रीमिंग चल रही है तेरी.
भाई ये कैसे भाई?
क्या चालू है? What the fuck is going on? क्या कर रहे हैं लोग?
अरे एक सेकंड.
Online now. I'm not sure that he's going to need it. For the rest of this round, it is looking like an easy cleanup.
Nice one, Batman.
A decent trade onto Forsaken, but I mean the damage is really done here. 4 on 2, you shouldn't get too much done.
भाई दिया रे दवाई ने चाटा दिया भाई.
अरे रुक जा किसका PRX और ये मजा आएगा देखने में.
जी और PRX.
Been phenomenal on that agent in recent times, so things could get pretty interesting. PRX have a lot of
भाई वो
firepower.
बॉडी पे पूरा.
Like all of it is online at the moment.
भाई नहीं यार.
अरे रुक समथिंग खेल रहा है क्या? खेल रहा है
समथिंग खेल रहा है जेट
यार.
और रे मजा आएगा बट.
आ जाना.
और वो क्या खेल रहा है अपना? 4 सेकंड
खेल रहा हूँ मन.
और
जी के लिए रूट कर रहे साले।
वही तो हम तो जी के लिए रूट कर रहे हैं।
भाई
And that's where I want to keep my attention on to.
नहीं रे निकलेगा।
समथिंग 3-3-3 अरे इनवी नहीं मार रहा क्या?
Looking for possible duels.
जरूरत ही नहीं है इनवी को।
Hell, but sudden peeks out and something.
भाई आज ओडो को चलना पड़ेगा भाई।
लग गया अरे बच गया एक गोली। अरे उसने वो ली है क्या, रीजन ली है क्या?
रीजन थी।
Let's go. Where the fuck are smoke किधर है?
स्मोक नहीं कर रहे ना, रीटेक करेंगे। इनका बोनस है ना।
अरे बट अपने बंदे को स्मोक किधर है?
नहीं करेंगे ना स्मोक, देख
एक बचा के रखा।
अब करेगा स्मोक, अब करेगा स्मोक, अब करेगा और सेकंड अब स्मोक करेगा। मर गया ले, नहीं करेगा।
सेकंड का नहीं बोल रहा है साले, अपने
को कर रहा है।
बोल रहा है।
अच्छा जी का?
हाँ जी का स्मोक ही नहीं था अभी पे।
ओमन खेल रहा है क्या? हाँ अरे ओमन के साथ जल्दी स्मोक करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है।
अरे पता है मेरे को, बट
समथिंग रीटेक नहीं कर पाएगा।
नाइस वन, वेल प्लेड।
काय का दो मर गए अपने,
कोई बात नहीं, राउंड निकला।
इकोनॉमी किधर है?
है 3 पे
है भाई पूरा।
इनका ऐसा ही रहता है, 2 राउंड हार के तीसरा राउंड जीतते हैं। कल भी यही चल रहा था।
आ रही हो फिर आ गया।
अभी हमारा ब्रेक चल रहा है।
क्या बात है।
अरे यार मैं भूल गया था, इस पे वो नहीं होता अब। बहुत वेंट्स। मैं म्यूटेड
अच्छा राउंड निकाला।
किधर गया है ये तू? मनाली आए हैं।
यप
भाई पकड़ गए भाई टायर। ओह नाइस फेक हो रहा है।
अरे कौन है ये?
अरे तेरा बहुत आवाज आ रहा है। अरे म्यूट कर दे।
सवा मिनट है।
अरे
भाई 4 सेकंड भाई, क्या करना चाहता है तू? क्या थ्रो कर दी भाई?
A trifecta in round number 4.
तोड़ रहे भाई।
Even going to be able to make it back.
भाई मेरे को तो लग रहा है 5-4 चौथे मैच तक भी नहीं पहुंचेगा भाई, ऐसे खेल रही है।
Just the fact that something was in that lurk position, gone unchecked. G trying to pick up.
क्या ट्रेड भाई, क्या ट्रेड, हार गई भाई।
And that's all the information that Forsaken needed.
एक-एक करके वापस एक-एक करके जा रहे भाई ये लोग। क्यों भाई?
I have to find an answer for that pretty soon.
तो बाय भी नहीं है देख उस पे।
So easy for them. Awesome can maybe isolate a tool somewhere.
खुद ब्लाइंड हो गए लोग, खुद ब्लाइंड हो गए भाई।
Crash out Patman using there with the weapon as well, and
Nice.
the piece Yutan making good usage of that shotty. Here's what I'm talking about.
क्या
but
क्या?
all just deleted by Envy.
Nice.
Back to the 3-on-3 though, the shots coming through thick and fast will not be enough for G.
भाई जीजी है भाई, मेरे को नहीं देखना भाई। क्या चलो पता नहीं मेरे को यार।
देखा उसका ध्यान ही नहीं है ऑटम का।
भाई नहीं पता भाई क्या कर नहीं पता भाई ये लोग। पूरा चिल मार के खेल रहे भाई।
Hot from the press
और गुस्सा आ रहा है मेरे को।
games from T1.
भाई ऑटम का ध्यान ही नहीं है ब्रो।
Everyone's starting to find the best possible beginning to the rounds.
जीजी भाई।
Getting so much information and then being able to take down right outside of B, even though Yudotan does manage to create that space again.
ये देख ध्यान ही नहीं था उसका।
Corral back in towards this B site where multiple angles are supporting PRX because they have both sides under control.
भाई वो अल्टी से आके मार के गया। देखा तूने वेफर?
भाई क्या कर
First round is
सकते
something and Jing, and then we saw Forsaken having a round to sort of hold on to A, and now we've seen Envy over towards B.
तूने वो नहीं देखा?
Everybody has stepped up, showed up, and for global esports, you know, they're getting choked out of this game at the moment, 4-1, and
वो
that's why
कैसे
they're
मरेगा?
calling this tack timeout early on in the piece. Frost wants to have some kind of impact. You can see him in that coaching chair. They've cooked something with this composition, but at the moment it's not working out.
Not seeing it. Not on the attacking side at least, but that's why we love Frost. Every little timeout that he had yesterday always converted towards, you know, some kind of a positive impact. Hopefully we're starting to see that right after this one, because round 6, if you don't start to find rounds, this is where you're losing your hold over the map. PRX already having some ultimates, pretty strong ones with the Nightfall, but GE potentially with Hunter's Fury, if they do get that spike down, Yudotan maybe to just go all in. Balls out with that overdrive, but straight to garage for now.
I mean, the disrespect is so much there. I mean, Dafai is just walking down middle right now, getting so much space, so much information, and if GE
Bye
aren't
bye,
quick, they're going to be in trouble for
कोई बात
second.
Oh bhai,
For the 1-4-1, it'll be an easy second for
भाई
him
ये
as
4
well as they
सेकंड
start
दे
to
रहा
push their way
भाई.
out that dark cover, the flank obviously coming into play as well, and
What
something
the
rotating
fuck?
across too. GE are stalled at the gates once again.
चले
They've got some
चले
space in
चले
middle, but
चल.
they don't have the spike. So how can they find a way to win this round?
Not entirely sure, unless these duels are somehow isolated.
Ultimate
Take
है
down
क्या
something,
उनका?
pick up the
Batman
spike,
का
go
है
somewhere
थोड़ा.
else. But take a look at Forsaken and Envy as well.
Yeah, interesting that Forsaken's gone back over to A. Trying to get some info, I suppose, as to what GE is up to. Spike has been retrieved. Batman hoping to make that happen.
And if you do somewhat end up on the side as well, you could try to buy a bit more time away from the spike, possibly first onto that steel card.
अबे खुद को ब्लाइंड कर रहा है चूतिया.
And that because we're not seeing anyone else make a move from PRX yet. But I get the sense that they're doing that because they know they have 3. If the spike goes down, they go in for that retake. It's 3v2 Elfish.
Yeah, and space already
They know
starting to be
B
taken here by
open है भाई,
something.
B पे प्लान करेंगे. वो देगा आया दे कभी पिक देगा.
ये देखो.
In behind.
अब विंडो वाले का ध्यान ही नहीं है इन्हें.
Starting to make their way across as well.
Envy has the util
वो
2.
देख ना जेट सब चेक करके आ रहे हैं भाई, सब
Not
चेक
needed.
कर.
Batman
Wow.
instantly dealt with the rifle instead, and that leaves Crystal
Bro,
solo. He
सब
did
check
win a
करके आ रहा है.
1v3
Wow.
against PRX earlier
Wow.
on in the playoffs, but it won't happen this
एकदम
time.
Wow.
That is
एकदम
5-1
गोल्ड जैसे
and
प्लेयर्स
off
की
the
तरह
back
खेल
of the
रहे हैं ब्रो.
tactical timeout as well for GE.
भाई क्या चालू है? क्या कर रहे हैं?
No immediate pickup
भाई
just
क्या
yet.
कर रहे
I
हैं
mean,
लोग यार?
this really
ठीक
has
है.
to buy, so this is definitely going to hurt GE. If you think about the long run so far on this map of Haven.
Throttle है क्या?
There's a bit of a conversation as well, you know, in the press conference, thinking about, is it experience? Is it nerves onto this stage? Crystal said no. They have been on big stages before. Back in Thailand, back in Japan for
Hello.
भाई क्या कर दिया ये टीम?
Perhaps in other games.
भाई मुझे ना अब गुस्सा आ रहा है बहुत जोर से.
तो मेरे को भी आ रहा है देख के भाई, मेरे को इच्छा नहीं हो रही देखने की भाई मैच.
This is quite liable to happen.
Yeah, is the occasion getting to global esports?
पर डबल डुअल रन कर रहे हैं भाई, ऐसे नहीं पड़ सकते ये.
Bet your bottom dollar that it will not be a problem for PRX. They are so
वो
experienced.
देख किधर तक आ
It seems as though global at the moment
हाँ ठीक है क्या
that
दिक्कत है.
pressure a little bit.
पुश
Are a
देखना कितना
tenacious
कर
team,
रहे
though. They
हैं.
might
वो
still be able
देख
to make something out of this game.
बट डैश भी है भाई इसको.
Attack to do so, the wall going up. Will just about save GE there, but
पकड़ लिया रे क्रिस्टल ने.
on the hunt, can't land any shots. And so
nice.
अब मत पीक कर.
आराम से
They might not. Let's see what Forsaken can do. A double. And we're back to a 3-on-3.
क्या ब्रेन डेड खेल रही है
Yudotan.
इन लोगों ने चेक नहीं किया.
They don't relent. Look at how they're pushing up A short.
Jing is in the key position right now. He's
पता है
trying to make
इसको,
something
पता है
different,
भाई.
isolate the fight against Order.
कोई
Get
ना
that
ठीक है
done.
भाई,
Now
भाई
we're back to
जीजी
2-on-2.
भाई.
Out with
क्या
lesser
करेंगे
utility
भाई?
now.
भागते भागते गया उडोटेन भाई, देखा भी नहीं उसको यार. चेक भी नहीं किया वो एंगल यार.
They can hide some kind of
गोल्ड की तरह खेल रही भाई, गोल्ड प्लेयर्स की तरह.
ultimates.
वो लोग ने कितना एग्रेसिव खेल रहे हैं यार.
This should be G.
Yeah, it should surely be GE's round, right?
भाई कॉम्पी मैच समझ के खेल रही भाई
Drop by
PRX.
Crystal, it's going to make things even more difficult for PRX. They'll wait it out. Fast lane as well, obstructing some vision. They'll try and brawl their way in. Jing
Wow.
on the defuse and Dafai with the coverage, but the defuse now pretty much has to be stuck. Jing going to try and force the fight against Crystal. Time is running out. He's got no idea where Crystal is coming from.
क्या बात है?
Another round.
मारा रे.
भाई
With the Red Bull clutch, just
जिंग
punch
गलती
that
से भी
ticket
इसको
to,
स्विंग
through
कर लेता
Crystal.
ना
Why
ये
don't you?
जब जंप मारा था भाई.
Look at the way
भाई
that
डिलीट
he
कर
hustled
देता भाई
round
डिलीट.
B.
भाई
Just the
भाई
dive on
भाई
top
बच
of the
गए
spike.
भाई.
Always the team
निकला भाई ये
player,
राउंड निकला
always the
भाई.
stable
है भाई
Russian
उम्मीद है
At what
भाई.
cost? At cost
contrast
of
to
our
something,
whole
of course.
economy.
Look at how he just dove
अभी
across.
पैसा नहीं रहेगा देख
That has
नेक्स्ट
been
राउंड
the game
वापस
plan
बंदों
so
के पास.
far, and I imagine maybe this
भाई
is
ये
what the
4
battle was
सेकंड
about.
क्या खेल रहा है बे.
Crystal separated from the rest of the pack, and that's going to be potential late lurker.
भाई 4
Catching
सेकंड
potential
प्लेस
players
बना
who
रहा है
continue
भाई
to push
पता
outside
है.
of B. Out with that buy as well as
वो
well.
तो
Next
ना
one comes up, and
देखना.
it's GE just looking to launch another quick assault into C site.
भाई तो है
फ्लैश नहीं है ओमेन के पास तो आके पास ड्रोन नहीं है क्रिस्टल के पास वॉल डाला क्रिस्टल ने
प्रूटो ने भी यूज कर ली
मिल गया सी फ्री मिल गया पीपल खेलेंगे
spamming
that fuck to them
easy 50 tag
nobody's pushing outside of A lobby for now, so quite happy with the information that they have.
I like this setup.
वो देख के जा रहा है
on the late lurk could be a real thorn in their side if something is not able to
अटक गया तेरा
नहीं पीछे से हटका
clear that out in the middle. Jing meanwhile starting to get entry.
भाई
Where has that come from? Jing just out of nowhere for the triple. Well, that'll be the round for Paper X, and that is a bit of Paper X magic for you.
भाई बंद करते हैं भाई
kill rounds now already coming up from Paper X. None so far from GE.
Throttle ये क्या दिखा रहा है मुझे?
Should not have been that easy. GE had a good setup.
भाई मेरे को तकलीफ हो रही है
हमारा मैं तो सोचा था कि भाई इनको देख के आज प्रीमियर में कुछ अप्लाई करेंगे
But I have to imagine instant flashes, and that is exactly how it all happened.
Flash coverage was insane. I mean, you get the curveball, you get the paranoia through there as well. Nobody could see a damn thing.
भाई नहीं है
पूरा यूटिल पे डाल दे भाई ओमेन का फ्लैश है वो इसका फ्लैश है जिंग का फ्लैश है भाई 4 सेकंड और जिंग का एक साथ है
भाई बैटमैन भी कितना स्लो
ये लोग स्पेस ही नहीं ले रहे ये लोग ना साइड पे जाके रुक रहे भाई स्पेस ही नहीं ले रहे भाई किधर भी
just sliding straight into a headshot.
Hey bro.
Like I said, Quack, earlier on, it just feels like everyone on
Flash
Paper X
नहीं उन
is
पे
having a
बेंच
day at the
फ्लैश
moment.
भी करेंगे फ्लैश भी
Only
करेंगे
so much you can do
एम
with
लैब
that.
भाई
A
पूरा
triple kill for Divai now as well. Everyone getting
फ्री का
involved.
पिक जाके
There
दे
is
रहे
no
भाई
weak
ये
link
क्या
at the
स्मोक
moment
है
for Paper X on this defense.
None, absolutely none. GE
Nice
trying
one.
to scavenge whatever they have left. Trying to get some picks off at the very least while something just continues to hold space. Paper X know they have every single possible entry points on towards the extremities of the map for now, so just quite happy to once again wait for the eventuation of the 3v2.
Not a great looking one, obviously, for GE with Harvey being tagged up so much. No armor to their name either. It's going to make the job a little bit more difficult, but they do have a rifle at least with some sharp shooting. There might be something in
अभी
here.
वो फेड
for
नो
GE.
नाइट के लिए
Okay,
आ गए देख
Plan on B.
चल ओमन आ गया
Moved
लोकेशन
off now though, and at the same time, this is where Paper X starts to do a bit of scouting in V to begin.
अब ये उसको पता है पीछे देख पीछे डालेगा
Absolutely has to connect its first
I
bullet.
knew it.
And now being spotted out, it's going to make life much
हो
more
गया चल
difficult.
कोई ना
Needs
हार
the
गए
3K here, needs 3 clean headshots, won't even get the chance for one. Paper X are looking too good at the moment.
It's a best of 5. That's all I want to say right now for GE. It feels like dire straits. This is not how you want to begin. I mean, even yesterday's game against Full Sense, they didn't start off, this down low. They were pretty neck and neck against Full Sense on that first map of Split. Both teams starting out on a split of all things as well, which is why this map veto is really lovely. But onto this Haven, if you're just allowing Paper X to play and operate at their own space, and you are coming in with a new
उनकी पूरी
composition,
टीम
but it's
ही
not working
मार
out,
रही है
I just don't know what else to say.
Well, you're going to have to really back the GE defense. That's
PRX,
really the only fallback now for Haven. See what they can scramble together now for the attacks.
good
Put any kind of stable
he's expecting man
or not. It seems as though the answer may be not, as something is continuing to
क्या
look for
भाई
some fights.
ये क्या शॉट मारा उसने
Pulled into the gulag though.
He'll get one.
ओके
Here
ये
up
मिलेगा ये
Autumn, which he's unable to win this time. So Autumn some success with the ulti this time around. It does allow GE
good
into A.
Spike planted.
Now they get to set up. Surely Crystal.
Okay,
needs all
bye.
the information they need, but it's just
कोई
right
बात
back.
नहीं बढ़िया है बढ़िया है
Successful with that. Autumn just shuts him down, but he'll get another crack at it. Envy dropping the prowlers out from heaven. Forsaken.
What?
And opening doors
भाई कैसे
to
कुछ
Autumn
भी
as the
swing
retake
करके मार
begins.
दे रहा है और
The
वो कुछ कर भी नहीं
numbers
पा
start
रहे
to
भाई
thin for Paper X. Envy has
ये
to
जो
try and make it
ओपन में क्यों
happen.
आ रहा है
Davai's still on the rotator. You've got to be questioning, where is Davai in all of this? Envy buying as much time as possible, and Davai in from behind. It's Paper
अरे
X
पर
with another
ओपन
one.
में क्यों जा रहा है वो
Say one more time for me, Jordan.
Davai.
That
भाई
is how you
तूने एक
pronounce
चीज
Davai, man.
नोटिस करी
Look at him. Oh, you gotta love
कि
it.
उधर
That's
एंगल
it.
पे
That's
है
Davai.
फिर भी मान नहीं पा रहे।
अरे एंगल का छोड़ना वो सोवा को ओपन में जाने का ये देख अभी देख हेवन से देख सोवा को कैसे मारेगा
वो देख
सोवा देख ओपन में जाएगा अभी देख ये करने की जरूरत है फाइट लेने की जरूरत है क्या भाई उसको आना है he has to calm down भाई
पैसे लेके बैठे भाई
प्लीज he has to calm down, he has to defuse दूसरे बंदे के लिए देखो ना तुम लोग तब तक तुम लोग को एक का पोजी पता है तुम लोग उससे फाइट क्यों ले रहे हो पागल है ये भाई
how this feels they just have to keep on trying something same line this time unsuccessful and the Hunter's Fury is going to try to chase him down seems like he'll be okay as a second
वापस देख विदाउट ब्लाइंड पिक दे रहा है विदाउट ब्लाइंड जरूरत है ब्लाइंड दे सकता है
नहीं
स्मोक भी नहीं दिया कुछ नहीं दिया क्या चूते जैसा खेल रहे बेंचो
कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं हो रही नाइस मॉली पे मर रहे भाई
there against Forsaken who's going to TP back into a different position. All of a sudden, now you're wondering, is GE, where actually is this retake coming from? Autumn is all over it, but does he expect a second player? Devi again from behind, he might have been hurt, it doesn't matter, the shot will connect, and it's down to just Crystal, who is sitting with the heaven, pops that steel guard, and it'll matter largely now for Devi.
Maybe.
He has to try to make something happen, he still hit the headshot! It does not matter. PaperX are operating on a different level right now.
ओमेन सीधा ड्राइव पिक दे रहा है ये जैसा स्मोक नहीं दे रहा है
स्टील गार्डन नो
भाई इनका
गुड ड्राइव पिक दे रहा है तो फ्लैश तक नहीं कर रहा है बंदा
भाई इनका गन गेम क्या है
देखना
सुनना इनका गन गेम क्या चल रहा है बट I don't understand.
PaperX style, the
but where the fuck was that smoke man? Smoke किधर है तुम लोग का?
Back when everyone,
भाई वो कितना क्लीन शॉट मार के गया दवाई पता है?
Pioneer this double duelist and something on the jet is
क्या
a very big factor for that.
नशे कर रहे हैं लोग भाई.
Now the last round.
भाई नहीं देखना मेरे को भाई मैं बंद कर देगा भाई.
One more setup, just a Vi and a tour de force and a
What the fuck
shotgun. Is that going to be enough?
Throttle तो चुप ही हो गया बोल रहा है क्या ही बोलूं?
If I was a gambling man, I'd probably say yes. Given how things have been going so far for PaperX on this map, it's looking pretty comfortable. Davai!
Okay. Doesn't quite get it this time. Unitan drops
ये
him
तो निकालो भाई.
on the way into C.
चल winnable है winnable.
And Forsaken having to try and hold on to a bit of control on C-Long. There's 3 players. It is a shooting gallery.
Expect the flash भाई anti-flash खेलना open मत खेलना.
Put one more together right at the back of the half. Give themselves at least a third to play with. The retake still yet to come through from Envy, Something, and Jing. All their positions are now noted. Something.
Nice one.
Only able to trade 1-for-1's not quite enough. This is a good round from GE. Something.
Something is something.
But I surely don't expect him to get this done. No. It was starting to get interesting. But GE will get there.
Chortle भाई भी like उम्मीद छोड़ दी.
To hazard the guess that is going to be really tough to come back from.
Without a doubt. You would think at least it's just a bit of hope.
देख के मेरा इरिटेट हो गया भाई. ये मैं मेरे को बता ये राउंड जैसा खेले वैसे हर राउंड खेलने में कोई प्रॉब्लम थी क्या? इतना कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ खेले डबल पिक दे रहे थे ट्रिपल पिक दे रहे थे ये पहले कर लेते हैं ना. प्रॉब्लम था
भाई इधर भी ऑलमोस्ट थ्रो था बट
4 minutes. It's a little bit early to crash out. I gotta say though,
it was a nice try though. It really was a nice try. You felt as though if he was crisp with it on that 4th shot, like on that 4th kill, there was definitely something on offer there. A 1v5 obviously is, you'd think on a stage like this, a little bit too much to ask, but hey, maybe there's still something. By the way, there is currently a fan event exclusively for the Pacific. Don't forget to join in on that one. Get involved with all this sort of fan art and
भाई ये देख के ना मेरी इच्छा चली गई भाई देखने की भाई. मैं रुकता था भाई देखने के लिए बट नहीं भाई नहीं. पूरा डिसअपॉइंट कर दिया भाई इन लोगों ने भाई.
पिस्टल राउंड देखते हैं क्या होता है.
हाँ ये राउंड आ जाते हैं ना.
You know, it's a good vibe. I think everyone's having a great time except for maybe the GE fans at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I was told like it's fully sold out for the final 2 days that we have. We're talking about the desk, we're talking about the cameras shaking and everything. You can kind of feel it, but it's definitely a bit more saturated on the PaperX side of things in terms of the scoreline as well. Some hope for GE though.
Yeah, I think you have to be looking at this pistol and say, well, They need the pistol, right? Like that's Captain Obvious kind of a statement, but they are really down. Are
इसका
they
बंद
out
कर
though
दे,
is
इसका
the
बंद कर दे,
question, and I think that pistol round will really decide that for us.
उसका बंद कर दे, distract हो रहा है वो.
So an important one. Again, on
कल
offer
की
here
तरह
for
मैच का
Global
रूप
Esports.
है ना?
For PRX though, they're just confident to go pushing up, dry walk, pick up the orb, end up back on towards AG, just hoping that they have the right angle for the right crossfire setup.
There's a lot of players in the
कुछ
right spot
crazy,
here for GE.
कुछ crazy.
Ready to
दिखाओ
push
कुछ.
into A, but
Nice
it seems as
Batman.
though PRX have
यार पीछे चला जा, क्यों ओवरहीट कर रहा है?
ये भी क्यों पिक दे रहा है? मत पिक
GE
देना,
are
वो
having to
आराम से.
force that
Please,
fight.
bro.
Spike will be retrieved.
Okay.
Nice one, not up, nice
Another
one.
one doing some great work right
आराम
now,
से, आराम
but
से, आराम से, आराम
there's
से.
a huge push in here from
C
the
मिल
right
गया.
all the way in through C.
Expect someone on C. Expect someone on C. Your left C open. कर expect हाँ. एक नंबर.
पता है इसको इसके POV में आया था नियॉन का थोड़ा सा. दिखा नहीं इसको.
नहीं उसने देखा नहीं रहा.
सैड है. अबे सैड भाई.
एक नंबर. Nice.
G fighting भाइयों, G fighting.
Fighting for his life.
Starting off with the pistol.
ये ना ज्यादा ओवरहीट करते हैं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ यार.
आज बैटमैन ज्यादा ओवर कर रहा है भाई, ओवर पिकिंग कर रहा है.
Perhaps this is a way to keep themselves.
उसकी X है ना टीम.
Let's get that from his POV because that is exactly.
भाई मैं जिंदा आ गया तो भाई डिस्कॉर्ड पे मिल जाऊंगा.
देखा वीडियो देखा. रुक गया एक सेकंड.
Coaching booth, which is probably to be expected out of a round like that one.
भाई इतनी
Disadvantage. All the players tagged up.
हो रही है, ठीक है? सब रेनकोट हैं. और मेरे को देखो.
Quite a bit harder for PRX now.
अबे साले पहले भाई.
जाओ रेनकोट.
मैं एक चीज दिखाऊं.
अबे भाई
ये देख.
मैंने मेरे भाई को बोला था कि रेनकोट ले ले. भाई ने बोला नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. मैंने कहा ले लग गया लौड़े.
भाई बोला जाना जाना है तो.
अभी हमें जाना है 11,000 फीट.
अभी कितने पे है?
अगले दिन निकलेंगे हम 14,000 फीट के लिए.
ओ भाई स्नो देखने को मिलेगा तेरे को ऊपर फिर.
स्नो अभी देखो भाई क्रेजी व्यू होगा ऊपर से. नीचे का व्यू देखो. अभी यहाँ से तो इतना नहीं दिख रहा.
इंस्टा पे
आ रहा हूँ.
इंस्टा पे वगैरह भेजना. नहीं तो व्हाट्सएप पे फोटो भेजना.
अब डालूंगा भाई. मैंने बहुत वीडियो बनाई है. अभी देख
One round at a
मेरा
time,
कैम देख.
one map at a time. We'll see how it goes.
हाँ,
This might have been GE's
देखा.
pick, but
मेरे हाथ में ना ये जगह पे
long as they
देख
make
लगा
it
है.
close, I think we can still keep our heads
हाँ.
high for the
मैं
next
पहाड़ से गिर गया था.
We're already kind of seeing how GE
ले
tends to control the
अबे लौड़े उसकी क्यों गार्ड बांट रहा है? वो गया है ना खे भाई.
नहीं भाई. अबे अभी हम लोग अभी तो ये तो बहुत नॉर्मल है.
ध्यान से उतरने के
चढ़ के आए ना.
So invested at the moment.
हम लोग यहाँ से चढ़ के आए ना, वो एकदम ऐसा 90 डिग्री जैसा ही है भाई बिल्कुल. बहुत ज्यादा स्टीप था.
तो टेंट
ये तो फिर भी बहुत इजी है.
खाना वगैरह का क्या सीन है उधर? खाने वगैरह
क्या
खाने वगैरह का क्या सीन है?
खाना 4 टाइम मिलेगा. अभी 1 टाइम का हो गया. 2 टाइम 3 टाइम और मिलेगा ऊपर.
कितना पे किया तूने?
सिर्फ इसका
3,500. तेरा
पूरा अभी पता नहीं. मेरा तो भाई शूज वूज तो मैंने खुद लिए. ये सब मैंने अभी लिया शूज वूज. ये इसलिए लिया तो कम से कम तू मान ले 3.5 फिर 5-6 हजार. मतलब तू 10 लेके मान ले भाई अगर ट्रैक पे आना है.
अच्छा 10 लेके.
हाँ 10 लेके चल.
तूने ये जो छड़ी दी थी ना वो लेके आ रहा है मुंबई किसी प्लांट में डालने में.
अबे ये नहीं लेके आ सकता. ये तो भाई रेंट पे लिया है.
अच्छा
शूज. अच्छा भाई शूज खरीद लिए, नहीं तो गीले हो जाते.
डेकेथलॉन से लिए रहेंगे.
एक तो कोक लेके आए हम इतनी ऊपर. कोक पी रहे हैं बैठ के.
रेड
बुल लेके आया था. अरे और फिर पार्ट से खुदता. रेड बुल गिव्स यू विंग्स.
और फिर मेरी तरह हाथ में करता.
हमारा गाइड बोलता है देखो हमारी गाइड की बात सुनो. अगर तुमको सिगरेट दारू तो मना कर दी.
स्ट्रीम कर रहे हो?
अगर तुमको सिगरेट पीनी है, ठीक है, सिगरेट अलाउड नहीं है, अगर पीनी है तो मेरी नजर में मत आना, ठीक है? ये क्या बात होती है भाई? अलाउड नहीं है, नजर में मत आना तो पी सकते हो।
दारू क्यों अलाउड नहीं है बेचो?
अभी तो स्ट्रीम
और पहाड़ से लुढ़क जाएगा भाई तो अच्छा लगेगा।
अरे वैसा नहीं, अरे बट अगर तू पहाड़ पे जाके किधर रुक रहा है तो उधर तो पी सकता है ना
भाई। व्यू देखो अभी देखो।
क्या बात है?
पिक्सल
इधर फोटो भेजूंगा, फोटो भेजूंगा, ठीक है?
मीडिया में डाल।
गया चल अपन मैच पे फोकस करते हैं।
2 राउंड निकाले रे।
फक
And suddenly the rotations go off.
Dark cover into garage is not going to be too much of a concern.
अबे नहीं रे।
I like the push here from.
वो देख किधर पहुंच गए।
बैकस्टेप करने का प्लान, सारे बैकस्टेप। नहीं आगे साउंड आ गया।
Problem G has no idea what's going on outside of garage, and by the point that Crystal comes back in to clear it, it's a little bit too late. PRX, they're holding up. Device got the angle into
भाई दवाई भाई नहीं, दवाई नहीं। देख लिया दवाई।
इनको मिल गया, 3-4 लोग हैं। हो गया, हार गया अपन ये राउंड। गारंटीड अपन ये वापस
कल जैसा एक एक करके पिक। कोई निकाल रहे। अरे ये लोडिंग क्यों आ जाता है रे?
अबे लोडे।
Batman starting to come online in this round. He's just TP'd straight into Forsaken, and Autumn's dealt with as well. Oh dear.
Nice.
Why are we doing that? Oh my goodness. Big hill traded back and forth, but it comes down to a wild TP play.
ए भाई यार नहीं देखना मेरे को, छोड़, मैं जा रहा है भाई। मूड खराब कर रहे हैं लोग।
ये मैच देख के जा।
नहीं घंटा नहीं, मैं मेरा मूड खराब हो जाएगा भाई देख के। मेरे को देखना ही नहीं है मैच। क्या थ्रो करते हैं भाई, क्या थ्रो करते हैं वहाँ का सब। तो पूरा का चल उनका स्ट्रैट से पूरे के पूरा बैक स्टेप कर रहा है एग्री भाई। 1v1 क्यों पिक दे रहे हैं? उड़ी मार के वगैरह कैसा जा रहा है वो? उसकी क्रॉसर पे क्यों जा रहा है? विदाउट एनी यूटिल्स, विदाउट एनी फ्लैश भाई, कुछ नहीं भाई।
भाई एक तूने ये तो देख भाई, PRX वालों का कोई सपोर्टर ही नहीं है।
PRX
जी वालों का, PRX के तो हाँ, जी वालों का कोई सपोर्टर ही नहीं भाई। जी का मूड खराब, JEE का मूड खराब हो गया। ये भी गुस्सा हो रहा है देख।
अरे फिर क्या भाई? 1v1 पिक दे रहे। एक राउंड में तो भाई बंदा अपना स्मोक नहीं कर रहा है, पिक दे के मर रहा है, वो भी ड्राई पिक दे के। खुद के पास इतना बड़ा फ्लैश लेके एक फ्लैश नहीं दिया बड़वे ने, अगर उसको पिक ही करना था तो यार। कम ऑन बेचो, चूतिए जैसा खेल रहे भाई। भाई मां को भाई दिमाग खराब हो रहा है मेरे को देख के।
कोच गालियां दे रहा है।
नहीं देखना मैच। वक भाई क्या कर रहे भाई, क्या कर रहे हैं?
वो देख 3-3 अल्टा उन पे खोल दिया।
हो गया। ओके
नाइस, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं।
आराम से
नाइस पिक्स उड़ो, कोई बात नहीं, बहुत प्यारा निकाले पिक्स।
That's a really quick call from PRX then. Just to quickly cancel off the initial push. Try to look for the pivot back into C.
अरे वो कैसे जाता है?
Usually pretty solid. He's going to have to get at least one here. Shots give away his position. The double swing should come through. Oh no.
Control smoke bro, control smoke. Why not control smoke?
Doesn't get either. Just a little bit of damage. Davai almost caught on the timing here by Autumn, who's just going to try and push forward and take a little bit of space.
Nice Autumn.
Actually takes Davai's head in that meanwhile. So GE, I wanted to say in with a chance for retake, but it's just...
Oh, अबे कॉर्नर चेक करो।
Just when you think GE are starting to come back into their own, There's always one more PaperX player somewhere to crush the hopes and
भाई
dreams.
खत्म भाई घंटा में देख रहा है ये स्ट्रीम लौड़ा भेंचोद
भाई इनके माउस से कौन सा है इसका
हट हर टाइम कॉर्नर्स नीचे करते हर टाइम भैया फोर्थ ऐसा चौथा राउंड है कॉर्नर से मरे वो चेक नहीं है
सुन कल भी सेम मिस्टेक थी आज भी सेम मिस्टेक्स है पता है
अबे हट भाई घंटे का खेल रहे हैं
सोलो पीक कर रहे हैं कॉर्नर्स चेक नहीं कर रहे भाई सेम
फ्लैश नहीं कर रहे फ्लैश पिक नहीं कर
स्मोक नहीं कर रहे
स्मोक नहीं दे रहे हैं अभी भी देख अभी भी बंदा स्मोक नहीं दिया था दोनों स्मोक थे उसपे ठीक है उसने चूजे ने कंट्रोल स्मोक तक नहीं दिया भाई एटलीस्ट भाई वो स्मोक में जा उस स्मोक में खेल दौड़ा भाई तो फक भाई क्या कर रहे हैं लोग
out of this map and build a bit of confidence back up. That's a better start again from Yudatan and Autumn this time as well. Having some early impact, he wants to push for more and he gets himself the double. So
अब क्या फायदा?
That's what I'm talking
मैं देख भी क्यों रहा है
about. Just try to slow things down for PaperX. Get a few rounds here. Yeah, you probably have already lost this map, but at least stop PaperX from going into map 2 with oodles of momentum. Oodle.
I do like some as well in Vietnam, but apart from that, just getting that read, I think. We've been thinking about Javi and his calling, and I think this is one of those rounds where he's managed to do just that. Figure out where PaperX is trying to push. From. Then you get the plays going out with Yudotan and Autumn getting activated on that C site. The last one going down without a question. You need so much more of that to win out, not just this map, but this entire series. We had a brief conversation about it where, you know, let's say we sack Haven, let's go over onto Lotus. Lotus was where PaperX just had their time of day the last time these two teams faced off. I think the desk was kind of talking or alluding to it a bit as well, that
one enemy remaining.
If GE wants to have potential to really make it to that grand final, get that revenge match against Full Sense, they need to drag this all the way out to Ascent.
Another aggressive play here for GE.
Iron place कर रहे भाई.
On the aggression on this defense has been where they've been.
इनके पास खाली एम है ओजी. गेम प्ले तो गंदा है. गेम सेंस तो गंदा ही है.
Eventually GE would come again. And unfortunately for GE, that is the last roll of the dice for that one. 13-6, they have just been picked apart. And PaperX are doing what they do best. It's another lower bracket run in the making.
Throttle.
Already cooking up
भाई मैं कुछ बोलना नहीं चाहता अभी मेरे मुंह से कुछ निकल जाएगा.
गेम सेंस तो गंदा ही है. और थोड़ी देर अपने वैल्यू खेलेंगे.
Just thereabouts. But when they're operating at this form, I mean, how can you possibly act?
Value in the sense.
छी भाई छी.
भाई गंदे players. ये क्या कर दिया मैंने? अच्छा.
My ultimate's ready.
और जिताना है क्या बोल लाडले. कोई खेल रहा है क्या? बोर हो गया मैं अकेले. हेलो कोई खेल रहा है क्या? खेल लो मेरे साथ.
क्या रैंक है भाई तेरी?
टोटल 2 है.
हाँ
आजा इसकी आईडी से हूँ छक्के की बूस्ट कर रहा हूँ. क्या नाम है अपना ये स्ट्रीमर की?
क्या?
कौन स्ट्रीमर?
रस्सी स्ट्रीमर।
अरे मेरी आईडी है।
आराम थ्रॉटल मेन से आ जल्दी।
नहीं आ रहा थ्रॉटल के लिए।
जी लूजिंग। क्या हुआ थ्रॉटल?
गंदी टीम भाई।
जी लूजिंग। जी
कौन जीत रहा है?
तो नहीं हो रहा है भाई।
पेपर एक्स जीत रही होगी इतना मुझे पता है।
हाँ
फाइट तो नहीं कर पा रही है जी।
कि भाई हेवन इसका मैप है भाई, क्या नाम है? 4 सेकंड का बाप है भाई मैप का वो।
अबे गलती से क्वालीफाई हो गई पहली बार। वो भी हमने दिया भाई।
अच्छा
क्वालीफाई तो हो जाओ वरना तो।
अरे आ रहा है बफर तो आ जा मर्जी है।
हाँ कैसे आऊंगा? अभी तो 5 मिनट में तो फिर से चालू हो जाएगी, कैसे खेलूंगा?
अच्छा वो भी कोई नहीं, एक लड़की देख रहा हूँ मैं ये गंदी सी देख।
पिक किसका था पहला मैच? पहला मैप पेपर एक्स का।
टीम कोऑर्डिनेशन 0 है बिल्कुल, है ना? एग्जैक्टली भाई।
किसकी जी की?
हाँ ना।
मैं
तेरी गंदी सी स्ट्रीम की चला देता हूँ मैं। कहाँ गई वो?
लाइक तो करके रख दे।
मेरा खोल के रखा था तूने। वाह
खोल के रखा था हटा दिया। सॉरी अरे 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 अरे
लाइक भी नहीं करी थी।
गलत खुल गया गलत खुल
भाई
गया।
मेरे डुओ की स्ट्रीम दिखा जल्दी।
लाइक दिखा, लाइक कर।
सेक्सुअल कंटेंट रिपोर्ट कर रहा है बड़वा।
देख यही हेटर्स आते हैं जो चैट में।
हनी कौन है?
अरे रुक जा यार।
इसको सर्वर से
हेटर ना हेटर ही होते हैं भाई, हेटर ही होते हैं।
वेरी सून इसको सर्वर से बैन दूंगा।
ये तो चला के तो रखा था तेरा। लाइव तो है नहीं तू।
अभी जाऊंगा ना थोड़ा 15-20 मिनट बाद। ए साले
सुसाइड करता हुआ पाया गया स्ट्रीम में।
क्रेजी स्ट्रीम हो गई ना।
Match found.
क्या बोल रहा है तू?
क्या हुआ थ्रॉटल? तेरा पेटमैन आज खेल नहीं पाया।
ये तो गलत हो गया
मेरा
यार।
मासी का लड़का लग रहा है पैटमैन, ऐसे बोल रहा है तू।
अरे लास्ट टाइम तो बहुत चिल्ला रहा था भाई, पेटमैन है ना इनकी वुंड पाड़ देगा। निकाला है ना पेपर एक्स से।
Death match. Warm up.
देख।
हमें क्वालीफाई करने दिया है इसका मतलब ये नहीं।
अबे साले अटक गया ले।
साले तेरा पीपी बहुत अटकता है पता है तेरे को?
हाँ बीच में चिपक जाता है, यानी ऐसे आ जाते हैं ना।
अरे इनको तो चिपका गया है बे।
तेरा क्या है? क्या
40-60
क्या डिजाइन बनी थी।
अरे हटो रे, मेरे को लड़की देखने दो यार, इतनी मस्त लड़की थी वो। आ गई।
Never show weakness.
को
Ever.
काट रहा है बे साले।
Fight.
वहाँ पे सही बैठा। अरे कुत्ता पे गया।
जिसका स्ट्रीम देख रहा था तू?
नहीं रे, किसी को तो वो करूँगा स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट। चलो स्टार्ट करो स्ट्रीम।
You're done.
क्या हो रहा है भाई इसको?
टीम स्नाइप कर रहा हूँ। ब्राउनी मंगाई ना मैं।
बीच में ले क्या रहा है?
ब्राउनी भाई हिमाचल में।
Back off.
ये क्या था?
ओए
भाई छोड़ भाई।
ये ब्राउनी का तो आवाज
होता है पूछ ले थ्रॉटल से पूछ ले।
थ्रॉटल भाई मैं तो मीठी चीज खाता ही नहीं, शक तो मैं।
ब्राउनी मीठी
लगती दोस्त कैसा तेरा
साले?
अबे हैश ब्राउनी कब से मीठी होने लगी बताइए तो?
हैश ब्राउनी खा रहे थे।
हाँ ओपन।
अबे क्या भाई?
और यूजुअली जो ब्राउनी रहते वो मीठी नहीं रहते एग्जैक्टली, वो थोड़ा कॉफी है। अरे
मैंने थोड़ा वो आता है क्या बोलते हैं उसको, हल्का सा नमक भी होता है।
नहीं हुआ।
इस मादरचोद ने लास्ट में क्यों हटा दिया? मेरा मैच लग गया।
उसको पता था कि बड़वा बैठा है चैट में।
क्या पता है भाई एनआरआई छी।
अच्छा ये टीम डेथ मैच क्यों कर रहा था? मैं कॉम्पी क्यों
नहीं लास्ट मैच कॉम्बी कर रहा था उसने, कैंसिल कॉम्पी किया और
VCT की तरह खेल रहा है भाई, जीवी की तरह
है ना। जिसको सपोर्ट करूंगा उसकी तरह ही खेलूंगा ना।
रुको ये तो लक्की जैसी दिख रही है बे। ये लक्की से दाढ़ी भी लगा दो तेरी।
वे किसकी? अबे भाई बस कर भाई।
भाई मैं जाता हूँ। इंजर्सियों को तो देखता भी नहीं मैं। ये कौन है? ये क्या हो गया? अच्छा सारे वॉच पार्टी का। ओ ये रही ना घटिया दिखने वाली।
Shut up.
छी गंदी आवाज है इसकी।
तेरी तरह
Die.
लौड़े इसकी आवाज बिल्कुल लकी जैसी। What the fuck भाई क्या कर रहा है ये भाई ये स्टारलाइट आना करके कोई स्ट्रीमर है। उसको रिपोर्ट कर रहा है अब्यूजिव ये करके। और रिपोर्ट इसके बाद ये क्या डाला उसने कि इसकी आवाज बराबर लकी जैसी है।
अरे भाई इसको निकालो भाई, ये बड़वा इंसान है।
Don't get up.
अबे साले ऑलरेडी नहीं है मेरे पास रे, क्यों कर रहा है ये सब कुछ?
ये लकी का दोस्त
साले
टेमेट वियतनाम में बैठा है, क्या बात है?
अरे यार
तो आज भी तो गया है वियतनाम।
ऑर्डर हमारा भी करवा।
अरे सामने
बिलो एवरेज को नहीं देखता।
ये क्या हो रहा है? ये की हुई लकी तेरा एमएम।
क्या बोला थ्रॉटल?
बिलो एवरेज स्ट्रीमर्स को नहीं देखता।
क्या हो रहा है?
और टीम को सपोर्ट करता है उसका क्या?
इसने यूज कर लिया डैश। वाओ
वेल करवा रहा था।
टीम्स को सपोर्ट करता है उसका क्या?
बट मेरे को पता डैश नहीं होता। ओके चालू हो गया मैच। ओके
हो गई चालू मैच।
आउट
क्या आउट?
मैच चालू हो तो मेरे को बताना।
मेरे में तो 2.5 मिनट दिखा रहा है अभी।
हाँ मेरे में भी 2.5 मिनट है।
अरे ये ना ऐसे एयर बॉल थ्रो कर रहा था।
Shut up. Idiot.
क्या लगता है सबसे ज्यादा वॉचिंग किस स्ट्रीमर को आती होगी VCT पे?
मछली
इसको
मछली
दोस्त है वो मेरा, मैं उसकी आईडी वो यहाँ नहीं रहता। वो लस्सी जो दिख रहा है ना तुझे स्ट्रीम पे, वो जर्मनी में रहता है।
10 kills remaining.
ओए लस्सी तेरे को बता देते, एक और सब्सक्राइबर मिल गया उसको।
बोल दे वो VCT वॉच पार्टी कर रहा है।
कर दे यार बेचारे को, वो थोड़ी सपोर्ट हो जाएगी। नहीं जिता रहा फिर मैं जा। अरे अपना क्लोव जिताएगा भाई, एसेंडेंट है।
क्या एसेंडेंट आ रहे हैं लॉबी में?
Don't mess with me.
अरे तेरी ना गला घोट के मार दूंगा मैं एक दिन। लकी डिस्ट्रैक्ट ये देख ना। लकी देख ले
क्या है। हाँ ठीक है, अच्छी लॉबी है।
फिर तू नहीं खेल पाएगा इस लॉबी में कभी।
ठीक है ना, औकात बना खेलने लायक।
नहीं वहाँ पे होल्ड कर रहा। अपना आईजीएल बोल रहा है भाई, सुन लो।
मैं जा रहा हूँ बस जिम करने।
कर मैं
Kill them.
लोग कहाँ गए?
नीचे 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 चला जा तू भी। एक स्ट्रीम करने गया, दो नीचे।
रुक।
Dead.
5 kills remaining.
कहाँ गया था टोटल?
बैठा हूँ बस।
अलग बैठना पड़ेगा।
क्या हो गया? आजा स्ट्रीम, आजा मैच चालू हो गई।
हाँ तो तू इधर बैठ। वो गेम खेल रहा है, वो चिल्लाए जा रहा है, मैच ही नहीं देख पा रहे हम।
हाँ।
इसलिए नीचे आ गए। उसको भी डिस्टर्ब होगा, हमको और ज्यादा मेरे को हो रहा था।
1 kill remaining.
तेरी पलकों पे।
ओए फ्रॉस्ट कंट्री वो ले रहे, फ्रॉस्ट कंट्री वो दिखा।
हाँ वही ये दिखा।
क्या ले रहे?
फ्रॉस्ट का ले रहे।
फ्रॉस्ट का ले रहे?
इंटरव्यू।
वही तो।
No, we definitely have to trust. First half, we lost a lot of close rounds. If we win them, it's probably 6-6 score. Second half, we had a round where we had 2 pushing down C.
और
For some
अरे
reason,
भाई
like, three on
नॉर्मल
the other
रैंडम
side
से
decided
फील
to
नहीं
lurk
आ
also,
रही
so
है।
like 5
हर्ष
people
तो
lurking instead
बैठा
of
है
2.
भाई।
So it's just like, oh man, it's these small mistakes you can't make.
वेरी स्कूल थ्रॉटल हमारा VCT में जगह करवा रहा है वॉच पार्टी की ऑफलाइन है ना थ्रॉटल।
और भाई सपने देखना बुरी बात थोड़ी है।
वही तो सपने करवाएगा नहीं।
At some point, guys. At some point, obviously.
Well, hopefully those small mistakes don't pile up here on Lotus. This is our second map. What are we expecting here?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see a recovery, but the problem is you're moving into
chat
Lotus.
मेरा ध्यान नहीं था भाई।
PRX have been
DM में
so
ध्यान था।
fantastic on throughout their whole career. It's so tough to beat them here, and it always has been. So I really think the bounce back has to come now before this series might really start to slip out of GE's hands.
Yeah, PRX have really defined how to play double duelist on Lotus. Their only loss comes to a bad performance for something. He's not going to be having one today, and he's definitely not going to be playing a Neon. They're just trusting that double duelist comp, jet raise with the Sky. I don't think PRX need to change up anything. They are very solid on this map. This puts the onus on GE, who have already played 2 different comps on this map, and this is a 3rd different comp. Jovi, what are we seeing here from GE?
Oh, I am so excited that they're bringing out the triple senti out of GE. They
भाई अच्छा लोग का मूड ऐसा खराब नहीं है, हंस रहे सारे चिल्ड है।
They're bringing out the deadlock. They're bringing out the stage to be able to delay as much as possible. I am so excited for this.
Wow. There's no duelist.
This
You
is
the times on the
crazy.
stage.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. There is no duelist.
Yeah.
क्या बात है भाई? कॉस्प्ले देख रहा है?
मैं तो
I mean,
DM
so
में
I think the defender half you expect it to be solid, but this attacker half they got to do what you're saying.
Don't
They
do
gotta
that
slow
shit,
it
bro.
right
If
away
I ask
down,
you
right?
watch
think
something,
this
you
is how
better
you beat
watch it, bro.
PRX?
100%. You have to completely counter. They have the sage slows to try to drop the threat. Yes. If obviously if played correctly, this is the way to go.
If played correctly.
If played correctly.
There's that disclaimer there. There's that disclaimer there.
Guys,
Oh my gosh, I cannot
I think
wait to see
this map's gonna be
It could go
6.
so well,
Or just good luck, have fun next map.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of nervous about this, but I do want to see
6:30.
how this plays out. Let's step into Lotus, over to Elfish and to Quack.
Man, I don't know why they do this to me, Quack. What is this? What is going on? You got triple sentinel, no duelist. Look, Jovi seems to be pretty impressed. He seems to be pretty locked in on that composition. What's your take? For me, this seems like madness. It does, but I want to say, yo, let them cook. These guys are the chefs. They know what they know. And maybe, Lotus being a bigger map, that's where they can operate, having their own pace, go with it. But you really need the strongest start possible. Going into attack without a duelist, I don't know.
की हाल चाल
These are the guys that make you baked beans on toast for the entree on
मित्रों
that composition. And then providing a little bit of what Morgan eats on the buffet breakfast, which is such a letdown, I have to say, from his perspective. But either way, man,
Screenshot नहीं हो रहा।
I'll give him something. I'll see what we're going to get here because I like a bit of a variety, and I hope this works because I want to see a good series.
But a very important map to win.
But so far,
like
ये जीतना है भाई। आ गया वापस।
PRX का strong map है but G का भी खराब map नहीं है ये तो it's okay.
एक चीज नोटिस करी, full defensive खेल रहे हैं G वाले।
For now, they start things off the Gravnet. There should be some
duelist नहीं है.
But duelist का इसमें what the fuck?
There should be some information.
भाई उनके तरफ से हो रहा है भाई. मेरी तरफ से नहीं हो रहा.
It's just going to be GE.
Twitch पे देखना, Twitch पे देखेगा तो ये सब नहीं होता.
Towards alt points for now. Only one to maybe hold off the B side would be Javi, but he does have a trip supporting.
भाई साहब भाई क्या कॉम्प है बेंचूत.
Have to be this first half. That looks good for GE. They are on the defense now, so they're going to
Pacific.
have to maximize. Autumn. Jordan caught out, but he did very well to get himself the 1-for-1.
ये ना. ये ना.
हाँ ये. प्ले करना उसको.
करो वो प्ले.
That looks good for GE. They are on the defense now, so
Refresh
they maximize. Autumn. Jordan caught out, but he does very well to get himself the 1-for-1. Ball's going to go up. So entry into C site will be denied. Brought the clock quite a bit, and have some information off of that as well. Oh, Pat has to stay on.
ऐप चेंज करेगा तो पॉज हो जाएगा. रुक जा एक मिनट हो जा.
Does it really matter as PRX send a couple of players over the top of those walls? Maybe they're not going to be too concerned, but we'll see how that plays out.
30 seconds left.
Into this game. Here's the push now on a crystal push. I mean, already the idea kind of looks fun. Pretty good against PRX, but with PRX are just still walking into sites like that. You know, all these really kind of. Just think about that another time. You know,
क्या खा क्या
Still क्यों throw हो रहा है भाई?
Yeah, not happy with himself, but I think happy with the result. So job done. Yeah, good to go.
क्या खा क्या ये PRX.
Slow down the pace of this map as much as
छोले मसाले खा गया ये. चना मसाला.
या भाई इनका ईगो हर्ट हो गया था पिछले मैच.
What's that annihilation? Another discussion would possibly be Pat, the instrumental player for GE.
कर ले वॉक इन कर ले भाई तू.
नहीं भाई हम यूटिल से थोड़ी देखेंगे.
अबे रबल कंट्रोल कैसे लेंगे?
Well, PRX just sets up inside of C. We've got Patman kind of sorry, not Patman, I should say, something floating around over towards A.
देख इन पे 2 सेंटी.
Spotting the info that is going to be required. It's going to bring something across to get that backstab through. It is being watched for, but what are you going to really do? At a range like that with just pistols on the other side, GE are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They've got nowhere to go. Okay. They just have to try to fight their way into at least some damage.
नहीं बे.
Not really occurring at this point. It was a good effort, but 2-0 the score here. PRX getting underway on map 2 in a very similar fashion to.
भाई हम पॉजिटिव रहेंगे. हम पॉजिटिव रहेंगे. पिस्टल राउंड था कोई बात नहीं.
कोई बात नहीं. अभी जीतेंगे देख वेंडल राउंड.
Again, that's possibly going to allow them
सपने देखना अच्छी बात है.
Round after round. Meanwhile for GE,
वरना फिर तो थंबनेल तो चेंज कर ही लेंगे. क्या दिक्कत है?
या
2 सेकंड रहे.
आज GE हारेगी तो क्या होगा? बाहर
नहीं बाहर क्या मतलब मास्टर्स चली गए तो फिर थर्ड फिनिश करेगी ये एशिया में इस बार. अगर जीत जाएगी तो फिर फाइनल खेलेगी उससे अगेंस्ट एफपीएस के.
पता नहीं भाई क्यों जाना है इन्हें. फ्लैंक को
मारा टूडो डान मारा.
कम ऑन उडो. क्या बात है. नाइस
ऑटम. भाई अगर इन्होंने डिफेंस निकाल दिया ना ये मैप में अटैक हार्ड नहीं है. ये मैप का खाली डिफेंस ही हार्ड है पता है.
Does have to really slow things down, allow for the rotations to come over, and that's exactly what G intends to do. Yeah, you can't play too slow.
और क्या मारा भाई.
भाई something ही है भाई.
मार पैटी मार पैटमैन है तो मुमकिन है भाई.
जाओ घुस जाओ. 2 ही बंदे भाई. से लर्क कर रहे हो देख.
Just the 1-for-1. Something has got to make sure that he does not fall here, because that could really bring this round back into an awkward position. But that push available, and there is the Vi able to strike. So it was better late than never in the end. And it looks like PRX should be getting through this round, but we'll see what Harvey can do.
unknown है रे भाई.
Is a sight, but it's not going to work out this time around.
Something
It's
ही
just
कह दे.
a little bit too weird of a round, really, from PRX, isn't
भाई
it?
बंदा
It
अकेला
feels that
कैरी
way.
कर रहा
It
है.
really does. But this is just the
पर
most
अटैक में
PRX thing.
ड्यूरेशन नहीं है.
Starting off against the back foot, they might have gone down to the opening picks.
अबे वही तो बोल
But
रहा
for
हूँ.
all of
डिफेंसिव
GE's
मैप है.
plan, it doesn't matter if something just swings, takes down Crystal.
Defensive map है.
अटैकिंग मैप है. अगर डिफेंड निकल जाएगा तो फिर अटैक भी निकल
We
जाएगा.
just talked about it. Big time
डिफेंड
just
में
talked
जितने
about
राउंड
it.
जीतेंगे जीत
Let's not
सकते
see
हैं.
that too much. Now they've got to play
तो भाई पर
tighter,
इन लोग
play
ने तो
together.
duel बिना
After
लेके
this
भी
round,
तीन
though,
हार
you don't
गए.
imagine it's going to be too much.
ले
They're
भाई
just
रबल
trying
गन तो लिए
to
चार
clash against
Equal.
वो तो
PRX.
फिर इनका गेम सेंस ही खराब है ना.
नाइस शॉट रहा, नाइस शॉट.
Shot from Yutan. Something's out of their picture early on in the piece,
एक गन
and
मिल
with
गया.
that, PRX have been rerouted
चल.
over towards C.
भाई ये साइफर कैम कितना सही लगाया उसने.
Out as well, so they are aware at this point that PRX have
तोड़
exited.
दिया.
Could be okay. Maybe some kill trips possible, but security different locations as well. I mean, the main thing I'm thinking of is this one gun robbed away. Yutan has it. Potential res. He goes down. No, this is done. Crystal has an ult, I know, but
Nice one.
ओ भाई.
3 on 4. Maybe GE can still try to make something
Crystal
happen.
flank जा रहे
Harvey
हैं.
अरे तुक्का लग गया.
with the fade away onto Defy. Jing. Oh,
क्या
no.
बात है क्रिस्टल.
चलो चलो लॉबी जाओ निकलो.
डिलीट भाई.
NV trying to hold
फिर
the
सो
line
इससे
at this
और
point, but
सिंगल
I don't
वीक
know
नहीं
if
सिंगल
there's
वीक
much they
नहीं.
can do about it. Of course,
Nice.
Jing's done, and
क्या बात है क्या बात है. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down.
Down.
oh,
Sit
slap
down.
my tail and call me wrong, Jordan. Let's see that again. I mean, I wasn't expecting Javi to be able to win out the 1v1, just trying to pick his timing around the positioning towards the back
अच्छा
of
पिक्स
Mount.
निकाले.
Affords him a second.
Xavier ने.
Well, another gun picked up by GE. But ultimately, what comes down to it is, even though Jing pulled out that showstopper, just the ult from the deadlock puts him into the coffin, and that brings all
IGL है भाई ये.
initiative back towards the team, and you can still see what this composition can do.
Crystal.
Brought up
Zavi.
now, and hopefully more rounds with it. PRX, though, just back at it again.
Yeah, but it's good to see some signs of life for GE early on in the piece once again.
क्या बात है प्रॉपर 5v5 होगा.
Out Rubble, it is something in Jing that are leading
नहीं
the charge.
बे.
Kind of like what I was saying. Does it really matter if you've got
निकाल
this
लेंगे
fancy
निकाल
wall, that
लेंगे.
fancy wall? If they can just go over the top of it, PRX is still going to be able to pick the pace up, and that's exactly what they've done in this round.
एक एक करके पिक लो.
GE
तूने एक चीज नोटिस करी वो एक एक करके पिक नहीं लेते PRX वाले. और अपने ये अपने G वाले एक एक करके पिक. अबे ये एनर्जी में आ गए. हाँ भाई.
भाई ये चैंपियंस बंडल में कुछ तो है भाई. सारे प्लेयर्स यही वाली बंडल यूज कर रहे हैं.
When you haven't really seen
क्या
PRX
लैग कर
play
रहा
at
है?
this pace. I mean, you kind of felt it once.
वो क्या ना उधर टॉप
back
फ्रैग
in
रहते हैं तो
that
एकदम चमकती है
playoffs
ना.
game. But at this
अरे तो
point,
और भी तो
PRX
चैंपियंस
is
बंडल है. ये वाले क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं सारे.
यही है अगर तू इसको यूज करेगा ना तेरे भी
क्या लैग
लगते
कर रहा
हैं.
है?
It's just difficult.
तो भाई ये कहाँ से लाऊं मैं अब.
You really need to
खरीद के
position
ला.
sentinels
ये नहीं आएगी भाई. शॉप में अकाउंट ही खरीदना पड़ेगा.
fancy walls will be just
तेरे
that
को एक
fancy.
बताता हूँ. बट वो थोड़ी कॉस्टली रहते हैं वो.
4-1.
बट ट्रस्टेड है.
Map 2 heading in the same direction as Map 1 at the moment. And again, a little bit of a cause for concern for global esports. So, I imagine we're getting the attack timeout shortly. Is it?
PRX
No.
something, not
It
sometimes.
really has to be. Because if not, I mean, PRX is just going to run the same thing again. I mean, the round there is just dropped and instantly.
देख ना भाई ये
both
सब
duelists
थिंग
coming
कहाँ
in all
उड़
the
उड़
way
के
up.
भाई कुछ भी भाई
ये
मार
लोग अभी भी
रहा है.
पुराने पैच में ही खेल रहे हैं ना.
हाँ पुराने पैच में.
Another duelist out
इसलिए ऐसी शॉट मार पाया है.
Now we're going into C. No timeout called. He will just have
अब
to
तो
try and
लगती
go
भाई शॉटगन की तो मारी चोदी भाई. मैं चला रहा था ना जज.
and a sonic sensor to try to slow down PRX
मैं
pacing,
चोद
but
भाई.
they have other
बहुत
plans
गंदी
in
मार
mind.
चोदी
Pick up the
शॉटगन
orb,
की.
go elsewhere.
अब ठीक है अभी भी लैग हो रहा है.
Meanwhile, something's just peeking around A.
No, he's just lurked out. Rubble.
चल मिस्टी हिंदी कमेंट्री दे.
चल.
मेरे को नहीं आती भाई कमेंट्री तो आती है.
भाई तो कर.
नहीं आता है मेरे को. स्पीड में बोलना ही नहीं आता. मैं इधर स्लो बोलने में मेरी हिंदी में वो हो जाता है.
गुजराती में बोल.
गुजराती करते.
Could be something in this one for GE if they get the right timing on the push. There's two players waiting for it, but that's two frags waiting for Harvey. And GE are back in a big way for round number 6.
Massive skirmish.
लक्की का दोस्त करता है अच्छी कास्टिंग.
And now you're wondering about the other choke points in towards Link.
Spidey.
And it's Crystal. Envy.
इसकी बात कर रहा है।
Together. It's a decent start. Costs a bit of HP on Envy, but they are finding
बस
their
भाई
kills.
बस
And
ज़्यादा नहीं
PRX are
बोलता
one of
मैं
the best teams at putting these kinds of rounds together. A
ज़्यादा नहीं
2vx
बोलता भाई
starts to feel doable as it's now back down to just the 2-on-2. Paranoia pushing through, but Envy can still see, and he will buy some time for G to recover for a third. No GE.
बंद कर साले बंद कर हटा हटा इधर से
A 2v1 now for
ये देखो इमोशनल सीधे कर दिया है
भाई निकाल दिया भाई
बेस्ट रेस
बादलों की ऊंचाइयों में हर तरफ कोहरा ही कोहरा
On paper, everything should be theirs.
Oh my
god. कौन-कौन गए ये लोग?
वो गिरा बच गया भाई ना गिरे उसको देख अबे भाई उसने पनौती लगा दी है भाई उसने पनौती लगाई है भाई वो अभी गिरा था अरे वो जा रहा था लेफ्ट साइड से उसने पनौती लगा दी है हरे वाले पे बचा फिर से गिरते हुए
किसके साथ गया है रियो
पूरा थ्रो भाई ऐसे थ्रो करते हैं
भाई के साथ
ओए ओए रीडी पूछ रही है किसी को रेपो खेलना है
कौन चले मैं तो कह रहा हूँ
भाई रेपो आता हूँ ऊपर पहुँच के
अरे तू भाई मेरे को अकाउंट दे मैं जा रहा हूँ खेलने गार्ड में रहो
मैं भी आ रहा हूँ सुन अजय रेपो खेलते हैं
तो यहाँ से क्यों गए
अजय रेपो ही खेलते हैं इसका
अरे तू स्ट्रीम दिखाएगा मैच की हमको
दिखा तो रहा हूँ
तू सारे गिर जाएगा नहीं तो क्या इधर से आएगा कोई नहीं गिरेगा चल उधर से भले गिर जाएंगे
दस नहीं
देख लो किधर बता रहा हूँ कैसे सीधे जाएंगे यहाँ से
And so far it's not. Map 1 it didn't work.
भाई पूरी तो साइड देख के बैठे हैं साइफर वाली.
So I'm not convinced certainly. Forsaken doesn't know how close he is to a bullet in the side of the head. Harvey actually does get Forsaken. GE have been more competitive.
वो तो already sheriff पे है twist.
Than anywhere else.
मार देगा भाई. Something को मार देगा.
Solo again against 2. He couldn't do it in the last round and he is
classic है फिर तो नहीं मार पाएगा.
नहीं अब
Vandal भी खेली अंडू पे हाँ.
क्लच कर दे ऑटम
राउंड तो जीत गए पर
and gets the freebie in the back of the head. So PRX up 6-1.
इनसे ना होने वाला मैं.
Thanks for trying something different here as
main बात.
भाई वाइट माउस पैड यूज कर रहा है भाई कितना गंदा होता होगा भाई ये.
ग्लास वाला है.
भाई वो PRX की टीम का प्लेयर है समझ रहा है टोटल
हो गया
तो नया ले सकता है इजी.
Up to these duels, but when PRX are just feeling that fiery, that relentless, round after round, every single corner peaked. There's a player just right around. It's one of those things that's very hard to quantify, but that's what makes them talk about exactly. Let's play against this team. This is what happens.
I need to get a coach cam here, surely. Come on. I need to see. There we go. There we go. I mean, cannot be happy.
कल चुपता पता ही है. कुछ नहीं बोल रहा था आज बोल रहे हैं.
थ्रॉटल जब सामने वाली टीम लेती है तो एलेक्स भी बात कर सकता है ना मतलब.
हाँ दोनों कुछ बात.
भाई ये तो फिर अच्छा ही हुआ.
वो क्या बोलेगा तुम्हें जो करना है करो जीत रहे हो. वो देख कहना ये राइट बड़ी. ये थ्रॉटल है अपना.
How often do you see that happen?
You want to see at least hopefully a
On
round
भाई.
उधर उसने किसी ने बोल
एक बंदा वो बोर्ड पे लिख के बैठा था ऐसा कहना ही है.
Right now on the stage to just take
भाई ग्राइड बॉडी तो ऐसी मिल जाएगी किसको चाहिए बताओ.
मेरे को ला.
I want to see
rage. पिछले मेरा देता तो देखो.
I want to see Pat.
पहले तू देखो और दो जगह पूछने क्या.
Slight ego. Want to take down your ex team.
Come on.
ए भाई आ गया भाई.
Something on the stage today, please.
धोखा देके.
नहीं गया बच गए.
Trying to get a couple of pot shots through, but GE with an intention to go with a TikTok wall, or not. Boy.
Grim.
A little bit of life.
क्या बात.
Who has been
Grim
pretty
तो
good
नहीं
at
थी.
finding openers in this series so far. Trouble has been that GE, while they've got a couple of openers, while they've had some advantages in rounds, sometimes have actually let those advantages slip.
Yes.
The conversion rate has not been good, but here's another chance to improve upon it.
Big ult as well. There's so many options to shift towards different setups, but for now, just trying to work off of information. It's Seekers and PRX play off of him.
This is what I'm talking about. Something brings
ये
it back to a
dry
4v4. You've now got the B side, and you've got all that information off the back of the Seekers as well.
mistakes,
Flag goes down. Nightfall doesn't quite connect onto any of those Paper X players, so they're feeling pretty okay about things. And Devi again is on the late lurk. He's on the flank. He's been doing that all game long. Paranoia, not a problem. Something covering things off. Envy eventually does fall, but time is of the essence now for GE as they start to push their way in. Unutan is making the difference. He gets the res across as well. Devi is Unutan coming alive when it's needed the most. Can they get the better of something and get that defuse? It's all good. GE have a round.
And they will fight back. Udotan, the ice to Jing's fire. I mean, this guy is another one of those original duelists for the team. Known to be a raise. His name literally meaning homing missile. And he's the one, of course, to take down the duelist of Paper X. Comes back in, swings on a swivel. And suddenly we have the res back. A quad kill out for their rounds, and this is exactly what they've been needing. Just the mental composure, have that trust, get in with the flashes and push it forward. It doesn't matter what Paper X has.
They need more though. They need another round here. It can't just be a one and done.
It feels like they should be able to. They have the guns right now. They only have positioning around A, and it's the same wall again. They're going to be thinking about Udotan possibly pacing through. But something has an entry.
Yeah, something out of nowhere. He'll be shut down before it gets too exciting for Paper X. Now it's Devi's turn. Oh no! The double from Devi. Just as GE start to look alive again, now it is very much hanging in the balance. Auto holding strong. Can't quite hold the line. Jing half HP below that, in fact, and it's Crystal.
नहीं जाएगा क्रिस्टल निकाल लेगा
मेरी तो सही चल रही है स्ट्रीम
only a couple of bullets away from death. It's
down
now. Jing off the side. He's going to take a risk. I like this a lot from Jing. Crystal will not find him.
Same मेरे ऐसा सोचा था मैं same ऐसे ही खेलना रहा
He's going to trust in the ult.
Nah, bro.
Walking behind him and shoot him in the back of the head.
He don't
got no idea.
Another
one for Paper X. And GE, they
अबे
just
इनका
cannot
BC
get
चेक
any
कराओ यार
momentum in
ये
this series
जो
at
हैक
all.
करके आए हैं
It's mental, I'm telling you.
भाई किसी के पास ESP है भाई
जरूरत ही नहीं है भाई
Everything in the
4 सेकंड में
toolkit
इनकी
to
टीम
work
में है
with.
भाई देख ले तू
And Paper X has absolutely
4 सेकंड अपना
none.
इंडिया का था
अबे
Just the
यार
sheriffs. And
पीछे
Devi
से
somehow finds another multi-kill.
भाई अगर
For
उधर
all of
ऑटम निकाल
Otto's
लेता ना
efforts,
भाई
Down to the last. GE seems to have lost composure right at this juncture.
You can see even on the player count.
You
Jing's not getting too excited about that. Just a cursory fist bump, you know. But
time out.
I think Paper X know that they are so in command of this game right now that
कल 2-0 के बाहर हो गया 3-0 के बाहर हो
Timeouts called in the first half. Paper X just comfortably breezing through.
Well, I mean, the worst part about this as well for Pro is the composition that they've built is designed to do work on the defense, and they're not doing that. They're not even doing anything on the defense. So you go and think, well, we're going to move on to the attack now.
अरे तुम रहने दो भाई गलत ही क्वालीफाई हो गए
This is where they're supposed to be cashing in on this composition, and unfortunately, they're not getting the payout that they want.
It's theory can only do so
सालों
much.
होप देते हो तो पहले इससे अच्छा हार ही
ये
जाते
देखे कितने खुश
It's a
है
whole other thing. And sometimes you really just need to get your players feeling good, feeling comfortable, feeling enraged.
क्या रहा होगा क्या something लाया है
It's the nature of the beast though, isn't it, right? First time as a
भाई
team
वो
on the
देखना
stage like this, you're
3-0
up against
लिख रहा
perhaps the most experienced team in the
है
world pretty much.
अरे हाँ रे ये तो best of 5 है आज का तो
A call that's been together for so many years. You're not expected
तो कुछ भी हो सकता है
come
भाई
into this series and absolutely dominate, but GE have to take this as a learning experience going forward. Hopefully they can learn in this series,
something.
But so far we're just not seeing it.
Something,
Paper X
something.
another
Something,
double
कुछ भी
entry.
something मारता
There's
है
really nothing to be done here for GE at all, and Paper X are running rings around them.
Flawless.
I mean, what's the lesson here, Jordan? Flawless from Paper X. And these guys, well, they just show up against GE
भाई वो
like school
भाई
on
वो
a
भाई वो
Saturday,
मजाक
which is
मजाक
today's
में
day.
खेल रहे हैं
No
भाई
class. Just push them down. Instant shots through the smoke, something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick it up.
भाई
I'll
देख
pick up what you're putting down. I would say
मेरी
actually though,
favorite
the
team
Paper
तो
X
PRX
are
ही है
full class at the moment. They are just
Okay.
on
कब से
point. They
तुमको
are
बता रहा हूँ भाई
moving the level that
PRX
you would expect.
जिंदाबाद
ये चेंज कैसे हो गया
सोच भाई अब जीत जाए ये बोलने के बाद
Get away with it, then yeah, disrespect your
वही
way.
तो जिंक्स कर रहा है ना
Ops brought out again.
PRX
जिंक्स तब होती है जब टीम गंदी हो सामने.
Play more defensive positions.
सामने टीम ही इतनी बेकार है कि भाई जिंक्स करके भी कुछ नहीं होगा.
Maybe try to play towards the off angle from Baby Door, but that's information to PRX now. First time that we have a slow round in this first half now. Just for PRX to run circles around. We're back into B.
Throttle ये गन बड़ी देखा?
Or something.
गया वो.
Usual tricks on the other side of the map.
कहाँ गया?
Bring them down.
You're right.
ठीक है.
सीनियर लेवल सीधे.
Push their way forward to B. Or at least put some pressure on that with the util. They actually haven't committed to it. Trying to see if they can pull something out of G, and they have. It's Yutan pushing his way forward. Defy will spot that out. He himself will be pushed away. 4 seconds on the clock here. PRX are gonna have to.
ये तो वही
something soon.
EVD control लेके बैठे हैं.
It's not going to find anything just yet. He goes through the cage. Autumn, that's a really bold move when you know the showstopper has been pulled.
मारेगा. अरे.
1-for-1 again. The ace hack cracked open without too much drama here for PRX.
At least though, Avi has the flash, wants to go fast.
Straight through it. Yutan gets himself one. It's not quite going to be enough. Harvey's position noted as well. Envy spotting him around the corner and something. Locking in onto Batman as well. What can you say about these rounds? But it is a demolition.
उसकी बहन लग रही है.
इसकी.
Just blown
4 seconds की.
Showstopper, you applaud the boldness, the courage to even try and go for it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think you kind of have to be taking some risks now as GE, because playing standard clearly is not working for them. They've got to try something different. Throw a fox among the hen house, throw a spanner in the works, see if you can find a way to unsettle PRX. But the thing is, like, now it seems like PRX are just so far ahead. They're riding so fast on that wave of momentum.
Just spear tackling them through and through. Now it's the Vi out with an Odin, and they're marching down to the Autumn.
Nice one. मारेगा एक और.
He's doing a pretty good job of it.
एक और.
Autumn eventually does get brought down by Forsaken, but the reinforcements will arrive here for GE and filter their way out through the door. The PRX push away as well to try and secure this final round of the half. A 9-3 would be something for GE to work with.
ये तो थ्रो किया. ले 400 रुपए.
And pull off a minor miracle in winning this round. He does have the spike that gives him opportunities.
एक करके peek नहीं भाई.
Bring around the Rosie with GE pretty nicely. He's hoping to isolate a duel here, and he's been able to do that, but down to 31 HP.
Gets one more, he has the TP. Maybe he could go somewhere. It'd be risky, but it could work. So much time to work off of as well.
I don't have a lot of faith.
Confirmation that Forsaken's still lurking around waterfall position, and that's where Javi has his crosshairs trained in.
Yeah, rotation has been cut off, so it's pretty obvious that he's going towards C. Javi already lurking his way out, and will pick up the perfect timing. So very good round win at the back end there for GE. It's just such a shame that we haven't seen more of that throughout this first half to kind of like allow us to sink our teeth into the game.
एक मारेगा.
It's definitely not easy. But
क्या
you're
1
actually
by
right
1
as well.
मारेगा मतलब?
The fact that they needed to take those risks and Autumn did exactly that. It's only paid off in towards more control around the map, around the fights. That's the confidence. That's the form. And after that, just knowing
half
either have
time.
to give Spike or forward Forsaken
Around trying
to keep themselves cool, level-headed back into the game. 3-9, and it's going to the second half.
हो सकता है.
You really have to wonder how does this circus of a composition would look on the attack, and they're without timeouts now. I have to say that as well. If they don't start off just right, PRX, I think we're thinking about a possible 3-0 now. The only question mark left would be, what does the composition look like then on Ascent?
No, the real question right now is, are you a fried spring roll or a fresh spring roll guy?
Yeah, we're healthy. We go fresh.
No way, bro. I'm going fried every day.
I like lime sauce.
उम्मीद रखो भाई.
Fans clearly kind of
उम्मीद रखो भाई.
agree with me. So you're
like
wrong.
Everyone's going fresh.
Okay. All jokes aside, though, definitely the crowd favorites, PRX and fresh spring rolls. Maybe that's what GE will look like at the end of the map as well, completely fried. You don't want that. You do not want that. First ever run in Pacific playoffs.
Don't worry, हम भी तो PRX को support कर रहे हैं, missed.
However, I think you have to say, even if they were to go out here, top 3, it's not bad. Really not a bad shout in your first place. So I think we still have to kind of keep that in mind a little bit. But again, GE obviously coming to today wanting more than that. They want more than what they've been able to deliver so far. They've picked up only 9 rounds total over the 2 maps. And that might be continuing, although Envy whipping a couple of shots gives the opportunity back in onto Crystal. Patman chiming in with one as well. It's a very aggressive round out from PRX that haven't necessarily quite gone their way. Lurk happening over towards A. Patman helped out by Yuratan. But there is a flank in again. It's Davai always getting in behind, but not doing enough this time.
Chal 2v1 easy.
Can remain in the fight if they can get this pistol.
Support तो मैं PRX को
Calling
करता
A side
हूँ.
clear. Pat can get the spike down.
Same here.
Set up positions around it. Davai will have to try to work off of his flash, and that should give information away. It all depends on how you kind of hold out. The spike clearly planted the same spot for Tree. Just a sheriff and a Tree.
क्या बात है भाई.
Able to put together a few good share of shots so far in this game, but doesn't even get the chance to shoot a bullet. So GE holding on for the second half pistol. Same story as what we saw in the first map. 9-3 first half. GE wins the pistol in the second. They only picked up 6 rounds in the end over on Haven. We'll be definitely hoping to improve upon that here on Lotus.
Yeah, that's just what we all want to see. Keep the dream alive. Go in. Guns blazing outside of B.
भाई एक राउंड हारे भाई उसने ठीक ही दिया भाई. PRX से पहुंचने भाई.
Still though, off to the next round, and this is where you get to build up that speed. 2 marshals, and they will be the money men, just trying to look for picks and bits of information. Meanwhile, the main forces down towards C. Just trying to play off information on the flash, not really seeing too much, but he's going to call confirmation, and that's rotations now. PRX all getting across.
Well,
Bring them down.
GE will be slowed down a little by that dark cover. Looks like they're going to go through it anyway. Vi here to try and hold on. Good for one always.
Spike
Well,
down. C.
starting to get a little bit worried for GE that maybe PRX can put something together. How did something get multiple shots off there? And now Jing coming into play as well. That's the spike dropped, and Autumn is nowhere to be seen.
Jing has a gun.
Vandal dirty.
He's got no idea where Autumn's coming from. He thinks maybe there's even a flank coming through.
Autumn's just going to have to either find a headshot or really find the right peaks. You know, one shot, peek back over the next.
No armor for Jing. He is tucked nice. Carefully until he decides to cross. Again, he's got no idea where Autumn is. Here's the peek.
30
Spotted.
seconds
30 seconds for Autumn to try to work with a bold peek from Jing, and he gets it done again for PRX. They are just making no mistake at the moment as they continue to put GE in the ground.
One more desire to say, you think about PRX playing to their peak form, and that's scary. PRX playing this fearless is just straight up terrifying. No armor, but Jing just doesn't have a care in the world. It feels as though everything is starting to come crashing down. We go back into it again, and there's no mobility whatsoever. They try to sit PRX down with utility, but it's more peaks.
I mean, it's just crazy. Something just does not want to go backwards, does he? He's always looking for these fights. I mean, think about Primi versus something tomorrow if that ends up being a matchup that we get to see. Jet v Jet, Op v Op. That will be a crazy final. PRX are going a long way to securing that possibility.
It has been a couple of years since we've seen a full TIE squad into an international. We'll stay focused for this game for now. PRX with all the guns in the world. High-low.
Jing's making it a little bit too easy right now. Forsaken can't hold on for the double, so Spike is allowed to transition its way toward A. Not quite all the way in there, and this is where we need a Batman clutch, but it's a really tough ask against 3.
वॉफर मैं तो मजे में गेम जीत रहा हूँ वे मैं कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ जीत रहा हूँ मैंने तेरे को पता है इस बंदे को इतना मोटिवेट सुन ये डायमंड 3 है इस बंदे को इतना मोटिवेट कर दिया इसके किल देख और मेरे देख
He's also just not sure.
क्या बात है?
अरे कुछ नहीं होता फिनिक्स भाई, चलता रहता है, अभी जिता दूंगा मैं नेक्स्ट, पर आप ही जिता दोगे यार, तुम 32 जा रहे हो, क्रेजी भाई।
Of timing to push through now.
Oh, has to turn away from the flash.
So bold the main stream पे आ जाए.
21 HP. Divide just kind of toying with him at this point, and in the end, Envy rushed in behind. Again, nothing he can do there. PRX are just playing it to perfection. The fundamentals are on point.
Just looks as though Pat's brain is going to overdrive, right?
ये बंदा नहीं हिलेगा भाई, जहाँ बैठ जाता है ना वहीं बैठता है। तू देखियो अभी स्पॉन से शिफ्ट करना शुरू कर देगा ये।
There's just no chance.
ये देख अभी शिफ्ट कर रहा है, देख।
I mean, that's another thing. Both teams cut to the same cloth. Just always playing Valorant with a dream. PRX initially, people were laughing at
किसने मारी
duelists.
PRX कौन मार रही भाई?
In this way, one Malaysian representative in Divide.
भाई दूसरा मैच 11-4 चल रहा है। नहीं भाई।
Similar signs.
अरे मजा आया भाई, मेरे को मजा आ रहा है भाई ऐसे ट्रोल करने में बंदों को, मस्त मजा आता है।
साले तो मेरी केडी के क्यों लगा रहा है?
नहीं लगेंगे भाई, तू जीत रहा है आराम से। तेरे एमएमआर देख असेंडेंट आ रहे हैं।
जीत रहा है बट स्पाइडी बोलता है भाई केडी के लगता है तो।
तू केडी का क्या करेगा साले, तुम्हारे अच्छा तेरी केडी बढ़ा दूं ना, पहले इतनी बढ़ रखी है, तेरी केडी पहले ही अच्छी है, इससे
डीडीआर कम हो जाता है भाई।
डैमेज से कुछ नहीं होता है, डीडीआर से वो डैमेज
होता है भाई।
डीडीआर का मतलब होता है डैमेज डेल्ट पर राउंड।
हाँ तो भाई वो कम कर दिया तूने।
अरे यार इसका अंडन
इसके बाद रैंक अप मैच है ना?
इसके बाद रैंक अप तो खुद कर लियो या फिर मैं खेल
करके छोड़ दियो।
तुझे पता नहीं है साइफर नेक्स्ट मैच में कितने बंदों को
already over on see that nightfall.
मिक्स एक गोली का है, भाग के जा
डील कर लेगा ना,
भाग के जा,
कोई नहीं है पे साइड पे।
अब मैं थ्रो कर दूंगा अगर तू भाग के नहीं गया,
मैं थ्रो कर दूंगा अगर तू भाग के नहीं गया।
No answer right now for GE. Crystal's going to try to clutch it out. Pops the annihilation. He's got that wall up as well. Devi's been caught. Forsaken. Have to get this one done alone. Tags through.
Forsaken gets set.
Still has to
क्या ही
find one.
बोलूं
Come on, eventually, but it will not be this one.
भाई एक इधर
Another
PRX,
for PRX.
एक तो इधर PRX का गेम प्ले देख के मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है भाई।
Round after round. Another big entry, big first blood. Patman fires back. You actually gain space into sight. You have the conviction to go through with Nightfall. Just a crumble in the post plant. A showstopper. Big dive. Now with Defy as well. Just down to the 1v1 where the headshot angle is the last thing you don't expect.
Yeah.
12-4 and now economy in shambles. PRX look primed to send this to Ascent.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's going to be an even cleaner map here on Lotus than what we saw on Haven. So, even more mentally draining for GE.
तो MMR तो अच्छी है मेरी।
Worked out for something. Again, in the mix early on in the piece.
सुन कितना प्लस बाकी है?
Get it done. That's Steel Garden in the mix as well. But Forsaken is running amok amongst GE.
28 प्लस ना, सुन 28 प्लस हो जाता है मेरे में। 20 किल मार आराम से 28
Surely nothing to be done. 13 secured for PRX, and right now they are making it look way.
क्या देख रहे हैं सीडी जबकि अबे छोड़ भाई, उम्मीद ही नहीं है भाई, वो जीत गई भाई। PRX दो मैच जीत गई, एक मैच और जीत गया। डायमंड आ गया। मेरी बफर कहाँ हो रही भाई? चल तो रही है अच्छी खासी, फ्रेम ड्रॉप्स भी नहीं है भाई। कैरी कर रहा है ना भाई, वही तो कह रहा हूँ मैं। क्या देख रहे हैं भाई? भाई भाई वो पता नहीं भाई कुछ भी खेल रही भाई, रुला रही है भाई सिर्फ वो।
Push that. Is it Jing?
Yeah, I mean, having Jing play like 25 kills is obviously going to give you against any comp.
दिखा क्या lobby आई है?
I think we have seen the comp before, you know, so we kind of know what we need to do around it. So when we saw it today, like we had a good idea of how to play around it.
Với việc mà Jing chơi như thế rồi thì bạn chơi bộ com nào cũng sẽ có thể hoàn toàn xuyên thủng được 3 cm thôi. Chúng tôi đã nhìn thấy bộ com này trước đây và chúng tôi hiểu rằng làm sao để khắc chế nó. Vâng ạ. Đó là những chia sẻ của huấn luyện viên Alex.
PRX जीत गए। नहीं अभी एक मैच बाकी है, अभी best of 5 है।
What can you do to stop 3 Sentinels? You just PRX it. That is the answer. And that is exactly what happened.
Best of 5 है।
An even farther scoreline than the first map.
I mean, we heard it from Jovi before this map. He said, in theory, this comp should cook PRX. But PRX don't care about your theory. They're so good. They're so sharp. And I feel like GE, you know, with all the good planning in the world, if you can't make it work, things aren't going to improve. You know, we've seen this composition.
हाँ लगा ले वैसे भी तेरा Discord audio off है।
Great on paper, but to play it in reality, especially against such a strong team like PRX, it feels impossible to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, as well as you see how the first half and second half started, you get bonus one as well as pistol by PRX, and then second half you see GE with a much needed pistol, they immediately get ecoed. It's just one of those games where not only are the double duelists, the PRX, you know, just full force running at you, Jing's on his signature agent, but also you have a bit of a disastrous half start in both of those halves. So even if you have all this prep, even if you have all these great plans on the gun rounds, you don't get the chance to execute them as cleanly as you would have wanted to, and then the game falls apart.
Well, you know what? Jovi hyped up the triple Sentinel way too much, so we decided, you know what? Never mind. He doesn't belong here on this test. We decided to bring up Benkai to replace him. Benkai.
I'm not gonna hype it up. I'm here to clown on it, man.
all right. Let's hear you clown.
GE was not fighting today on that map. They were struggling. It was GE struggling today. I thought it was me and Morgan again on that team.
Yo, that's a flashback. No, but I think you're right. I think it's just, I get the idea behind it, and I get that you're trying to upset in this best of 5, so you have to be the ones to innovate, but it didn't look well prepared. That is the, you know, like you said, that's the flip side of trying to play a lot of these comps and try and make a lot of changes on the fly. If you're not well drilled with it, it's not going to look good on the stage when the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and you can see GE also starting to crumble under all this pressure. Sure, you had map number 1 where you can just shake it off and okay, get those nerves out of the way. This was map 2. It's starting to get real for them, and this next map coming up could be their final one. We see just how far away the stats are over here, and for PRX, they are still just smooth sailing over here.
Yeah, I think with GE really needs to get their discipline together. Like, there was that one round, the 2v5 that PRX won. PRX had no business winning that.
Yeah.
And GE just picked into them one by one. I just didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, even on the game plan, on that defender side, and they were never able to do it, even if they're throwing all that. And then half the time they had Crystal on his own towards a, you know, he's tripping up backside. Like, it just doesn't seem like it's well coordinated and well put together. But ultimately, you know, it's PRX that you're having to play against, and PRX are so good at disrupting your timings. But I think for this GE team, they're still not looking settled on the stage, which is a worry. I mean, you know, best of 5, it's a long day in theory, but that's only true if they can start to turn their performances around here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just classic PRX. This comp is very flexible. They can get around their way out of a lot of situations. MVP obviously
watch party chal rahi unhe kya
It feels like there's less and less maps in the pool where he's going to be able to play the Raze, but Lotus is always going to be a staple from him. So I'm not surprised, despite the fact that in a couple of these last few series, we haven't seen as big of a performance from him. But as soon as he's back on that comfort role on the comfort map, he goes straight back to putting up the same numbers that you saw at the start of this stage of Pacific.
Yeah, he is just one of the best Razes in the world, and if not the best Raze in the world, and this is exactly why.
Doing something. Hello.
He's always the one that to watch out for. He always pops off also, and he always delivers on this agent.
Doing
You had Padman really trying to fight on the side of GE. However, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game just got out of their hands too quickly. You know, you spoke about it yesterday, Ben. PaperX are one of the best momentum teams in the world, right? So, I mean, if you're on the flip side, let's say you're back in GE for a second, PaperX are getting that momentum. How are you stopping it?
I mean, with all these Sentinels that GE had, I would have tried to at least play for time and just try and cut down on those entrances with the Sentinel utility. Yeah. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, the thing I wanted to highlight about this game is, I mean, these 2 rounds are a perfect example of what PaperX do to a team at the end of the day. This is a 4-on-5 bonus won by PaperX that got them a ridiculous amount of momentum in the first half. And then to follow up this one is going to be a 2-on-5 that you've seen. I mean, you see vintage 2-on-5s, 2VX clutches from PaperX. It's really what they do best. You put them in a situation where they need to read the game, and they're able to do it. But I also want to, highlight the comp that GE are playing. This is a duelistless comp where you need perfect spacing, because at the end of the day, you actually have a lot of guys on this team that are just a guy with a gun. I've thrown all my sensitivity still down, but when we get into the mid round, I'm a guy with a gun and I need to be next to my teammate, and if I'm not, I'm going to get picked apart by PaperX, and this is what you saw in this round.
And I think this is something GE in the past have been historically so good at trading each other out. We've praised their fundamentals so many times on the desk, but PaperX picked it apart here today.
Yeah, it was just, I wish we could see how this comp really would work. But unfortunately, today's just not the day. There's just too many factors in here. But now, of course, we have Ascent on the horizon. What do you think? Any surprises there? Jovi hyped it up again, but I think I trust you now.
I mean, for GE, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought out like a funky comp. But I also wouldn't be surprised if PaperX brings out Jing on the race for this map. Like we've done it before in the past.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of worked, but I would value something's Yoru over the race here, at least on Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, I think from T1 yesterday, we heard KDG speak about how they went back to that old school comp, that default comp, because they thought it could be PaperX. So I'm curious if that's a kind of angle Frost wants to take, if he wants to work that KO in there. But in my mind, knowing Frost, I think he's prepared to go weirder than the old school default comp.
I mean, we'll see what they come up with. At the end of the day, I think PaperX, in both of the games that they played on Ascent thus far, probably could have got more out of their defender's side. So especially with the Sage Vice, I want to see that happen. I think Jing is going to be happy about his performance. I remember when they played KRX over at Champs, Jing had a big game on the Sage, but he honestly hasn't been playing that well on it. So I think hopefully he's going to be feeling a little bit more comfort, a little bit more momentum coming off of that Raze game on Lotus, and have a bit better of a performance this time around. Because once again, you will see picked by GE, and PaperX will get to start out on the defense with the Sage Vice.
Oh my gosh, it's 13-6, 13-4. Ascent is where I need GE to come alive here. Otherwise, this could be it, and PaperX advances to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, their playoff run would come to a screeching halt. Don't get me wrong, they're still in London. Plenty to be excited about, but this is a team that wants to win Pacific. They want that rematch against Full Sense, but you can only do that if you really start to play to your ceiling right now, because they've not shown it in this series.
Dude, if there's any time to come back, it has to be this map right now.
Yes, exactly.
Because even if they win this map, I'm so scared for GE for the next map after what PaperX did on Split.
Yeah,
against the last 2 teams that they fought against on Split, I really don't see how GE is going to come on top of that.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, to be fair, GE in the past have been quite comfortable and good on Split, and even in, I believe, Kickoff, they pushed PaperX very close on that map. It was an OT banger, so GE will have to rediscover some of that form, but Bear taxes, you've got to win Ascent to even make it there, and it would have to be some kind of ridiculous reverse sweep. Not only would they have to peak when they've looked a little bit shambolic on the stage so far, but also PaperX would have to fall asleep a little bit, and they've just been on today, and I don't see it happening.
I do wonder if PaperX, what if they get a little bit complacent on this map? What if GE is able to come back from this? Because, again, this could be the last map, right? GE, I need to know what you are planning here on Ascent, and let's not forget that Frost here, he's cooked up some really weird comps on Ascent, right? Really, really strange ones. I'm curious to see what he has to say about this current series, so let's throw it to him on stage.
Kính chào các bạn thân mến, rất là có ý tưởng để có thể kéo chậm tốc độ của W Gaming lại, nhưng Global Esports vẫn chưa làm được. Thì liệu rằng khi mà bây giờ lưng đã chạm tường rồi thì GE có match với cả tốc độ của PaperX hay không? So coach, you try to slow them down. It's really tough. Now your back's against the wall. Are you gonna match their pace, or we still have to trust?
Okay, so I just watched us 4 rounds in a row, a fight with Triple Sensi. So at this point, I don't know what is going on. Don't ask me for questions, because that was not supposed to happen.
Điều đó không nên xảy ra. Tôi không biết rằng có điều gì sẽ có thể xảy ra được nữa. Bây giờ tôi không nghĩ được gì cả. Tôi không trả lời được gì cả. Hãy cùng chờ đợi map thi đấu thứ 3 mà thôi. Thanks coach.
I mean, if Frost doesn't know what's going on, what are we supposed to think?
I mean, he's saying exactly what we said. How are you losing the A fight?
Are we pressing the panic button now? I think we need to press it. We need to press it right now.
I think the good thing for GE is if they're going to recover, it has to be now, right? And when we saw them beat PRX last, there was a big hunger difference. I felt like they wanted it more. Now is the true time where they have to bring that back. If they can muster up that courage, the cojones that they showed in that series, then they'll be able to turn this around a little bit. But they're looking complacent and they're looking scared. Right now it looks like PRX that wants it more, and that's what worries me for GE.
Yeah, and you just can't come into this match with that kind of mentality, you know, especially against PRX. To them, the job is done already. They've already made it to London.
Yeah.
So right now, they're really just having fun. And whatever they get now is just a bonus to them. So
exactly. And PRX, they're so scary when they have fun.
Yeah, and what does GE have to do to try and like beat that mentality? You know, they're just so, I just feel like they're so afraid right now.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely scary when you see PRX having fun, and definitely in this sort of flow state that they usually get into in these very, very important matches. We see that each of these players also, they're just incredibly calm as well. Like they haven't really peaked yet. And you see the side of GE, they're really struggling.
I mean, exactly. I mean, you saw the interviews this morning. Divine made it to his 14th international with this. It's routine for him at this point.
He literally looked like he rolled out of bed, which I'm sure he did, to come and play this best of 5. Either way, though, Ascent is going to have to be where the narrative changes for GE. It is reverse sweep or go out here in Pacific. Yes, the job's done. They've already upset PRX before. He's been looking like that. He's been looking like that so far.
Borderline demonic.
I mean, that's him with the Yoru ult right now. He's gonna be mask on in this game. I'm really looking at Jing and Forsaken though. Forsaken was phenomenal in this first map of the series on Haven on the Omen. And I think he's key to holding that A main control on defense. The Omen is a very key agent in that regard. But Jing coming off the back of that Lotus game as well, after he's had a couple of rough games on the Sage, an agent that he's played a lot in the past, not only on this map, but also on Sunset. Those are going to be the two players that I'm looking at to be heavy hitters for PRX. But GE, I mean, we have no idea what they're going to come out with here. I mean, we haven't seen them play Ascent yet at all. It's something that they've kind of kept in their back pocket. But even if they have some tricks up their sleeve, if the players don't step up in the server, none of the theory, none of these comp changes is going to happen.
That's my worry, because it doesn't
नहीं Heaven तो हो गया अभी देखता हूँ क्या मेरे को नहीं पता मैं देख रहा हूँ खाना लेने गया था
and now into map number 3, he's looking puzzled. He's scratching his head. He has his hand, you know, over his head and he's thinking, what am I gonna do?
I mean, it's so hard not to be demoralized.
I love Valorant, please.
These great plans that I'm sure have been, you know, absolutely frying for you in scrims, and then you bring it out in the server and you get 13-6, 13-4. It's hard to go, well, it doesn't matter what we do, and it's easy to get in your own head and feel like you're just not able to go toe-to-toe with them. But you are good enough if they bring it back. It's a Sage mirror matchup.
That's what we wanted to see.
Yes, and I love that they're bringing out the KO. We saw how well T1 were able to do with this to neutralize what PRX were bringing here.
Sage mirror matchup, it is. It looks like we are getting what we asked for in this match. But the question is, can Global Esports make this comeback, or does this series already belong to PRX?
I really want to see how GE are going to get into the bomb sites, man. They don't have any agents to dive in.
Yeah, and you're going to
It's going to have to be the Phoenix Burst. Like, they're going to be stuck in the chokes. It's going to have to be curveball or underarm KO flash, something like that to try to break it.
Well, GE, you got to give us something here. This can't be the way it ends.
kills कर minus कम हो.
Run here in stage 1, and for PRX, you got to keep going. Show us what you've got as we toss it on over to your casters, Elfish and Quack.
Yeah, it's all about this for GE. They have come in with the fantasy run into the playoffs. First time ever. And we thought, wow, this team might be able to put something together. They beat PRX in round 1. They make it all the way through this event, and then all of a sudden it starts to come crashing down. Surely the dream cannot turn into a nightmare.
Surely not, but then again, you never know. Look at how many signs there are out there. PRX 3-0. By the way, if they do actually make it to the grand final, it would be the first time they face off against Full Sense so far this year. It hasn't happened before.
Wow, that's a big story. I think you could definitely set a few up there. Primi, maybe the best player. PRX, maybe the best team. What kind of a matchup that could be if we get there tomorrow. GE
bol.
trying to play spoiler in this best of 5, but they are down
क्या हुआ
0 and 2, needing a reverse sweep.
मैं वैल्यू नहीं खेल रहा.
Let's not forget. You don't see that
मैं स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ, वॉच पार्टी कर रहा हूँ.
KRX back then in 2023. But for
YouTube
now,
पे आ जा.
let's all remember as well.
अभी तो टाइम है. अगर ये मैच देखते हैं, एसेंट टाइम है अब तो.
The zombie comp, the tempo comp, where you have multiple lives. Autumn Phoenix, Yudotan, Sage. For now, though, a silent approach through middle.
नहीं यार.
Somewhat telling.
खेलने दो भाई, जीतने दो भाई उन्हें.
Holding out towards a short, but it's a bit late.
That made their way into tree and actually some pretty good ground here. Autumn is already taking a lot of space. Crystal pushing his way forward, a 1-for-1, something straight down for Divide.
Pretty nice. You found the hammer, you get a kill at the very least, and that's a pretty decent start. A lot of information and time being held off as well, thanks to the wall, so you know where one is approaching. The rest possibly as well. Now that you have Pat back on the controller, just to try and hold.
Ooh. Tag in onto Jing. Something already dropping. This is coming together for GE. They haven't started with a pistol round until now.
क्या बात है जी का पहला राउंड भाई.
For this lower bracket final.
Something that
नहीं भाई निकालेगी भाई.
definitely are welcome to taking. I mean, that's again
नहीं भाई निकाल दिया पहला राउंड.
composition could work. We're seeing it in practice, which is something that we haven't seen so far today. You have the wall. That slows things down. You get some information off of it. The door.
अभी सही एक्सिक्यूशन कर रहे हैं, पूरा सीटी तक होल्ड करने जा रहे हैं. ये पहले सीटी होल्ड ही नहीं कर रहे थे भाई तब से. कोई भी मैप हो भाई. साइट ही होल्ड कर रहे बैठे थे.
I mean, you can still see that that means a lot to them. They're still locked in for this game. They're still investing everything they can. That belief is not gone. And that's what's going to be the most important for GE. Even if we don't believe, they have to believe.
Right here. I just love that so much for this team. You lose a Guardian now, though, but on the other side, just try to shove it into the site, get the spike down. You know PRX are hot on the approach.
We've spotted multiple players outside of B, so they're not going to take too long to clear out A. Still got Batman and Autumn pushing for this flank, and, well, slim pickings for PRX in this round. Really nice.
बात है. निकाल लिया दूसरा राउंड.
Matter that Forsaken had a gun. Last player soon to be found with Yudotan. Okay, there we go.
Omen, Sova, KO, Sage.
Yeah. But I mean, I've just seen so many things turn on a dime.
नहीं 500 था पहला राउंड.
Yeah, so far today.
Like you just can't afford to make a mistake.
सेकंड राउंड थोड़ा स्लो खेले. उन्होंने पुश करा. PRX वालों ने.
At the very least. So, again, I mean, just thinking about GE as a whole team, right? So far, the entire history throughout the inception
How
of
Phoenix है.
You know,
Duelist.
no offense to Big Fan Morgan or even Benkai out on the desk, but they've always struggled. This is the best form that we've seen so far. You want to believe in the dream. For them to be able to make it to the grand final, players who have been plucked from tier 2 haven't had their time to shine. This might be it, and they will shove it straight through with a dive, sort of, Phoenix into sight.
That's nice. Again, we talked about that on the desk. How are they going to get out onto these sites? Well, it's going to have to be the
to
run it back in this case. On Autumn, and it's worked out quite nicely. GE are navigating.
नहीं. Attack है ना.
Nicely so far. Decent contingent of weaponry, despite the fact that Forsaken's got a kill back in there. There's really not a lot for PRX to get excited about. Global Esports.
Maria. Something अकेला.
So far on a sense, so maybe it's not over yet.
Yeah, they're in control, chasing something, trying to look for a safe backing out towards the A site where he should be the safest. Still, though, never quite know. G could begin to hunt crystals. Recon could come back soon enough. Apart from that, however, it's just pace again. I mean, you start the first 2 rounds exactly how you need to, and then you have the ultimate, which, you know, we haven't really brought up as a point. Autumn is on to 8 kills right now, only a single death to his name, and that's just exactly what this team needs. You go in with a full force and fury of Global Esports straight into the B side, and PRX just has no answer. You can continue to bring up rounds like this, then we'll have a real conversation.
Rio भाई बढ़िया था.
This is really looking quite nice for GE. Autumn uses the runner back in this round. He's already halfway there to his next one as well. It won't be long before we see that again.
Hopefully more.
Bit of a save out for PRX here as well. Half buy coming through. Opportunity for GE to continue the pain here on Ascent.
Auto में 8 kill पे और something 3 kill पे.
And again, PRX have somewhat of a similar composition as well. The Sage, always a big factor. They're going to contest through the one way, through the slow. Still going to try and take that space. Flash in, help taken out. They can't get out. It's just the 2 for 2, which look, if you're PRX, I don't
मेरी तो सही चल रही भाई, मेरे में तो सही चल रही है.
Got something in a strong position.
Very strong position, in fact, and he's got a rifle that he can make some good work happen from. Yutan, not able to clear that corner, and this is where maybe it starts to fall apart a little bit for GE.
अली भाई तुम्हारे को भी buffer हो रही है क्या stream?
Getting the better. Crystal was spotted, doors broken or something. What is that? Harvey just punishes him for it.
Just an uncharacteristic dive, but now the spike planted and a crossfire set up across the sites.
A big crossfire indeed. That drone. Information that is required. Nobody out from tree just yet, so Crystal feeling pretty confident, starting to push his way out onto the line. Drops a bit of damage, shock dart out, trying to slow things down. That's awkward. 1v1 now for Harvey. And Dabai, who is running out of time, so he's going to have to go back and try and sit that defuse for a second. Flash around the corner.
निकाल लेगा भाई, निकाल लेगा.
Wants another tap here. Dabai cannot win this for sure.
जी करूँगा.
All over at this point.
निकाल दिया देख.
Harvey 4-0 GE starting to come alive on map 3.
I'm not gonna lie, though, I definitely held my breath for a second. Javi, thankfully, being able to
lag
off
कभी
time,
कभी
we're
हाँ.
still on the 1v1s. He hasn't been so hot today. Kind of want that Crystal Clutch
देखो भाई
to come
कौन
back
जीतता
in this series. At least the rounds going this way so far, being able to find a recovery off of 2 initial big losses, that's the GE. That's the composure that they need to bring back.
देख बताओ.
I mean, just finding the right calls, finding the right plays. PRX starting to
Time out ले लिया bro.
feel a bit of nerves as well.
निकाल दिया.
First time in this series that we've seen the initial timeout in a map.
PRX.
The way of PRX. Also the first time that GE have picked up the opening pistol. First time that GE have been able to front run. So we're sort of in uncharted territory now on Ascent. Things are maybe changing up for the better for GE, which is what we've been asking for all this whole series.
4-0 is a hot start.
Feels like the first time they were actually really asking any questions of PRX so far.
Which is then some work for Coach Alex to do. I mean, you have to think about how G has been approaching round after round. A lot of the orbs on this map are somewhat positioned for the attackers to pick up. So clearly needing to work around that, and that's what they try to do a little bit towards A main, which is very clear for oftentimes Omens to do, with a bit of support from Jing as the Sage this time around. But if GE having the ability to cycle through the ultimates, having the same kind of approach off of flashes, the slow, they can just shove you back.
एक ही duelist है, Europe.
Onto this KO can be quite a threat as well, not just in terms of information, but just that, just stifling abilities.
Is ready.
Now you might have entry.
Yeah, bona fide A hit here for GE. Just going to try and test the defense of PRX, which is not looking too good. Forsaken is stuck, and he's got nowhere to go. So he'll be chased down by Patman, and again, not a bad entry for GE, but PRX with that third, or that second kill. Bring it back to a winnable scenario here. Autumn's going to try to pick the pace up. Is he aware? Yes.
क्या बात है
Envy.
Autumn भाई.
And in the blink of an eye, that round is over and done with. GE up to 5-0.
है ना भाई.
And that's just going to continue
Match
rolling. I wonder
मजेदार हो
what
रहा
PRX's
भाई.
economy is going to
5-0.
start to look like then. I mean, they tried to shift towards a more
देख रहा है 5-0 हो गया.
But clearly that's not going to work out if GE intends to play pace, intends to continue to be flexible. 7 rounds where they just Phoenix burst into sight, exactly what Pilsky was talking about on the decks. And you're seeing so clearly right now. The flash in, the willingness to continue to push past in towards spawn. The next round coming up.
Runner back available. Last time they had it, GE, they did hit this B site and looking in that direction again.
Starting things off slow. You're never quite sure the timeout. It could have been for PRX to suddenly swing in for more defensive pushes. We're not seeing that so far right now, which means GE has their time to kind of clear things through carefully with the flashes, peek around the corners.
Watch your eyes.
Soon enough, they'll see the wall.
Enemy
that's where they have to be careful.
Glass mouse pad भाई. Yes, yes.
Where of course the Phoenix is here as well off of the sound cue. PRX pretty determined to hold on to this B site, maintaining 3.
Trigger the wall.
Kind of allows them to take a little bit more space, but it's going to be actually getting into the site that's going to be the problem here for GE. Now, really taking their time about it, aren't they? Concerned, of course, about a retake or a rotate. Now, that hit coming through. PRX, 3 on the site, looking to defend, and they are doing a pretty good job of it, but eventually they will be run down. Forsaken cannot take that TP in the end.
Still a 2v2 though, and something's already around the corner.
Oh yeah, something's in a pretty interesting spot here. He might not actually deny the spike retrieval. In fact, Patman just going to really secure it. 13 seconds. Covered well by Harvey. This could be a 6th on the trot for Global Esports. Forsaken will, again, opt to try to play spoiler, but Global Esports, they feel like a completely different team here on Ascent, and PRX do not have an answer for it. Dark cover out, TP into it as well, just to try to change the game up a little bit here for Forsaken, but he has got no idea where these GE players are. Harvey found, but Patman delivers.
Patman
and GE are starting to deliver as well. 6-0. This is what we wanted.
Let's not forget that this round began without much weaponry for PRX. I shudder to think what could actually eventuate if they did have guns sitting all the way towards the back of B side, but thankfully for GE, they did not.
Hold तोड़ दिया ना.
Robbed away, but then the composure to stabilize off of smokes and the spike getting planted. If Pat had somewhat overheated with a wild shrouded step instead of the big from the shadows TP, that could have gone.
Let's go I 6-0.
We'll continue on. Slightly more control now, but PRX starting out with aggression, something onto the off, and he intends to pick out. That's a big info line being held, as well as for Forsaken to hold, but GE, they trudge down middle instead.
Yeah, what a brilliant call from them. There's just so much space to be had here in mid.
Ali bhai, तुमने खाया कुछ?
Autumn info gathered as to the position of the op of something. Devi's been able to push his way forward, but he's deleted as well. Like I said,
Ali bhai, तुमने कुछ खाया?
A completely different team right now. Forsaken and Nri though, pulling it back. Not back quite far enough though. Is that A side still going to be taken? And GE happy with it. 3-on-3 post plan.
Yeah, there's just so much space. I mean, information for sure, but they always had the option to cancel. And right now, with Autumn in such a strong position as well, he could always be that sleeper agent activated towards the end of the round.
He's really found out. Has to give away his position, and so Envy will dig him out. Dimensional drift in play as well for something. Looking for a little bit of information there out onto the side. The res is through as well. So GE are trying to hold on now to a 2-on-4, but Crystal with a nice late flank. Not sure that he's going to be able to have much of an impact in the end, though, is that coverage, well, it's not looking too good. Devi was not looking. Dart forward, tries to get the info. Defuse being stuck, there's nothing to be done for Crystal. Finally, PRX have their first round of the map.
It'll just keep
game
as well. Not too bad, though. Pretty smart from Global. Again, they cancel off the initial approach, always trying to sell that fake, but it's information for PRX ultimately, which leads to them slowing down the pace, back in with numbers for the strongest retake possible. I mean, taking the duel, multiple pronged approach against Autumn really cements their initiative into the site. Had they lost players towards Autumn, that could have been a different result, but thankfully, there you have it. At the very least, though, GE still feeling confident in their approach now.
La 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 la.
I think the PRX would pull a timeout off of a round win.
क्या चल रहा है? कौन आया? कोई नहीं आया.
GE may be getting a bit more value out of this one, it would seem.
You never know. But I have to imagine it's something to do with how the PRX players have been operating on the map so far. I mean, yes, a lot of confidence in everything for sure, but as we all know, complacency can kill. And sometimes when these guys, that's why they favor the lower bracket run. If they start to feel a little
कोई ना.
they've been there,
इतना शरीफ रहेंगे. ना भाई, करना पड़ता है भाई.
Internationals, they start to get a little bit too used to it. So you want to see how this setup can work. The operator line brought up before, it gave them a lot of information. So maybe running the same thing again, or do you expect
Easy, bro.
to find some kind of counter soon enough? That could be the answer. So instantly spotting out on towards something, and he has to reposition. Meanwhile, G continue to scout out towards the rest of the map. They want to rob away some of that Vi's utility, possibly.
There's a lot happening
कभी
in this round.
पापड़ पे दही लगा के खाया है?
Just very careful.
नाइफ कर दिया उसने तेरे को?
Go on an approach, you start to take down the numbers. Just careful though, but you quite expect it.
Forsaken gets the better of Autumn. That's going to pick the pace up for GE over towards B. In fact, they're not quite going to commit to it. Envy in there as well for a kill on the Crystal. It's kind of fallen apart a little bit at the seams here for GE. Maybe they've tried to cook a little bit too hard in this round.
अरे भाई ऐसे कौन मरता है भाई?
Why actually scan Harvey there? Oh, he can't get the orb. He wants to.
भाई मजा आती है भाई कहानी.
Yeah, I think it's a moot point, really, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gonna get surrounded soon enough. I mean, again, it's just unsettling, unnerving. PaperX slow down the pace right back against you, and they try to wrangle back control, impose their will against you. And
one more timeout.
They weren't really sure, you know, where the pin was about to drop. It could have been B, it could have been A. Instead, it was kind of both. Jing gets off of the wall, but at the same time, it's the sudden peek out from Forsaken. For now, we'll listen in on towards Team Comstock.
कोई सीन नहीं. क्या बात है? मार रहा है चैट.
Just trying to pull off the retake now. PaperX already in position, but with the Sheriff still G hold.
It's not down just yet, so there's still a little bit to be done here for GE, the 1-for-1. It's unsettling. Patman on this line, an important one with a sharp shot onto Envy. Something can't find the trade.
Heal Xaviet, bro.
To dissuade PaperX from this
King भाई Xaviet को heal कर दो bro.
That took a long time though, so PaperX also have quite a bit to work with, and you can see Something is trying to take advantage of that with a very long flank. Maybe even a little bit too long. We'll see what gets put together here. Jing is fighting solo, but he is finding what he needs. A headshot onto Patman.
2-2-2.
Would it take a little bit too much time?
No, I don't think so. Something perfectly times it. Crystal has no idea, and Jing, he's just walled him off. Something covers off nicely. The defuse will be there, and PaperX, have they got enough time for this defuse? Yes! 3 up now for PaperX.
Absolute savagery! For the long flank to come back through, you wall off Javi inside of hell?
Yeah, that's just straight BS, isn't it? I want to see this wall from Harvey's perspective, or from Something's at least. Might get it from POV. Let's have a look. Oh, we don't get to see it. Yeah, it covered. I mean, you can see it on the minimap. It covers the entire position, and so what can you do? Either way, a little bit more trickery out this time, and Patman, oh no, he can't see anything, so high in the sky is not going to be quite so valuable in the end. But PaperX now, you know, they're kind of starting to feel a little bit more like their usual selves, which is concerning, of course, for GE.
Right, just PaperX remembering that they are PaperX after all. But you go back towards the defensive setups, and GE with some alts potentially.
तो ध्यान देना चाहिए.
अरे what is that shot?
भाई ये क्या मार रहा है भाई?
Straight away onto Patman.
Something क्या मार रहा है भाई?
Use is it really going to be as GE are losing players
भाई
left, right, and center.
भाई चाटे बजा रहा है भाई.
No entry into A, no entry into B, but a bit of an avenue into middle is slowed down by Jing, but no more. V4. Not much to work with here for GE.
Truly.
छोड़ भाई, फिर से थ्रो करने लग गई भाई.
Get over onto the A site. It's Forsaken in an off angle.
Ball's going to isolate Crystal, but he also isolates Forsaken. So, an entry onto A that might make this one doable. Divide.
Nice one,
takes a ballsy fight and loses it. And now all of a sudden we're back to 2-on-2 again. There's that flank coming through, but again, it will be a little bit too late to do
Operator
anything about the
wale
plan, and
ke
maybe a chance in here for GE.
Crystal clears out towards the top of heaven, so he knows exactly where PaperX could be. Just watching out towards the door now.
चाटे बजाइयो devil नहीं है ना
Crystal caught out in no man's land. That's a little bit too easy of a death. And all onto the shoulders of Envy, who's now been spotted out as well.
Why?
A double
इतना
swing
wide
from
peak क्यों
PaperX. They
भाई
make no mistake. And they're back up to 4. The comeback is being built.
Just the operator in something's hands starting to sound off now. Worst possible time for GE to have this happen. I mean, look at that! Surely we can get some flow at some point, but apart from it all, it's just the way that they continue to push through off of it, trying to find the right mid-round thing. But then again, you have to think the way you approach Valorant, what tools
पता
you
नहीं
have,
थ्रो
how
कैसे
you can somehow
अबे भाई गंदी टीम है भाई थ्रो है टीम है भाई
without, you know, the dive, without the spacing that they had, it's just not really possible. You try to go back in through middle, but as soon as you meet a roadblock, it's just either you continue to dump bodies into it, which right now isn't working. The res takes a bit of time, and that's, you know, more time for PaperX to reposition and reinforce the A site. It's what didn't work out for them. So we'll see what Coach Frost can hook up with the team.
Yeah, really, really big timeout here for GE. They were in control of this map. PaperX starting to come back into it. You've got 2 rounds left in the half, and the half kind of still feels like it's very much hanging in the balance. PaperX could push this back to a 6-6, at which point I'd very much be favoring them to close this out. And the alternative, of course, is GE.
ये सब नहीं बोलना होता
still remain in control, go up 8-4, and PaperX are obviously at a pretty hefty deficit at that point heading into the second half.
We'll see how that all works out. With 2 rounds remaining in the first, we'll listen into PaperX.
नहीं चाहिए इतने ज़्यादा
Let's start Ilya here, guys. Like all the way, guys. I will try flash beam after. Ilya, I'm gonna flash. Can we flash? Can we flash?
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Let Ilya play the round now.
Okay.
Just let Ilya play the round.
I'm gonna wall this beam in.
Okay. You wanna go where? Ilya.
I go short. It's okay.
I'm joining mid. Can you help me mid? I will be mid. We'll go find mid, boys. I'm going with Ilya.
A short to
I can play with you.
One mid. I'm holding.
It's always off the drop, and they start off with numbers advantage again. They're already reading the rotations across the map from GE.
What a crazy read from PaperX. You got 4 players stacked on A already. Oh, this cannot go well for GE. If they commit to this side take. Autumn though with the runner back. Dimensional Drift is at the moment kind of being gate-kept by that wall, but PaperX, they know everything now, and so GE, well, they're going to be stalled at the gate right now. You would think Autumn let's get one before he's pushed back away, but there's just so many players here to defend. There is surely no entry allowed for GE, and that will be
there was something मार रही है भाई.
PaperX putting the pieces of the puzzle together here, and they're almost about to secure a 6-6 half after a 6-0 deficit.
Right off of Coach Frost's timeout. What happened to the composure that was starting to build up? They had some kind of a game plan in mind, but as soon as PaperX comes back in to throw a wrench in their plans off of this off shot, they start to scramble again, try to go in for a quick push into the A side. But PaperX reading it all too clearly already slowed them down. You saw what Jing was doing. Now he's doing it outside of B.
Oh! 1 for 1. That's okay. You get the sense though that PaperX are on a roll again. They're making those moves, they're playing confident, making good reads. Very dangerous for GE if they cannot stop that momentum somehow.
Got that Russian confidence.
Oh, big crossfire setup. Yeah, not a bad shout at all for either side. 2 for 2, but Envy still remains over on B, and he is locking it down. So it's on to Crystal to pull off another clutch for GE, and it will not happen this time. 6-6, massive recovery from PaperX, and they are on their way toward the final now.
Just ridiculous. Off of a 0-6,
ये
you
cross
answer back with 6 of your own. PaperX. Tyrannical. Is 6 enough for GE to send it to a possible reverse sweep, or is this done? It's now or never. The rounds haven't looked upon GE too kindly. Not since the beginning of this
हाँ कोई
Just
सीन
a
नहीं कोई
quick
सीन
approach back into the
chill
trades and the
chill
duels.
chill chill chill
And PRX getting the right reads at the right times. They put themselves back on that throne.
Wonder how many
can't have bro
3-0 fan signs are getting thrown up in the air right now.
Who got it? Who won it?
Certainly a lot of PRX fans, there is no doubt about that.
Who got it? Who won it?
Everyone choosing the Vandal.
Surely some fans.
There we go, got a couple of fans. But again, like I'm saying, Crack, I'm seeing a lot of PRX fans in the crowd. Everybody that we see is holding up a PRX sign.
Definitely are the crowd favorites. I mean, can you imagine from 0-6, maybe to a 13-6?
well जीत भाई
I mean, that would be
ठीक है भाई
rough for global esports to handle, but you know, I think they've definitely showed us a little bit more on this map, right? So you have to back yourself going into that second half. See if you can push this through to a fourth, one round at a time. I think one map at a time for GE. Don't get built up in the big picture. Just take it one step at a time.
And that's why they have this composition as well that could work quite nicely. We saw it against T1 with how the KO could work on the defensive side. For now, it's walls, though.
Oh, nicely timed wall as well.
Do we have counter wall?
bro
Thinking about it, aren't they? PRX set up in a line, but
5-man push
just gonna break down the door.
कोई बात नहीं इधर भी तो बैठा है अपना उडो टान
GE recognizing now they're gonna have to back off, although
अबे
bottom of mid. And this is a pretty unorthodox position, so let's see if he can land his shots. That's really what this is going to come down to with that ghost in hand.
Or does he get flanked upon? He hears the footsteps.
Yeah, again, off angle. It's going to be cleared though by Forsaken.
Elite 5
out of the picture early.
That's a ghost now afforded. PRX.
अबे नहीं नया टीम बनाएंगे इसीलिए तो पूछ रहा हूँ भाई तू
They are hearing GE on the rotation as well.
आ तो भाई वैसे क्योंकि देख अभी टूर्नामेंट्स आने वाले हैं 2-3 तो तू कर बता भाई मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ अभी स्ट्रीम के बारे में
The real fight is going to have to happen, and Patman is holding on nicely. Wall up, it's something, and Forsaken that will strike and take the B site.
Revealing area.
2-on-2. The plan is achieved for PRX. A tag with that dart. Forsaken 66 HP, but
Javi's flashes, it's not impossible.
What they can do. Crystal's got that power weapon in hand, so too does Harvey. High-low. Sheriffs versus the Ghosts. Jing and Forsaken, like you say, on the high-low. It's going to be a shooting gallery. PRX will take the second half pistol. One step closer to the final against Full Sense.
If they show up to that grand final again, just in this form, can you believe it? The peaks, the movement with how he's able to check around corners through airstraves.
करते हैं इसकी बात करते हैं अपने फिर
Don't imagine that happening. Autumn just did not expect that whatsoever. A round win, but Alex still not the happiest about it. Either way, though, they continue to go back in. Strength to another strength. Devi just control outside of B main while the 4 from PRX look to run it down.
Oh, this feels like the worst case scenario for GE. They've
नहीं वो भी रजिस्ट्रेशन करानी है बता ना तू इन है तो फिर बता
and there's really nothing you can do about it if you try to push forward. They're going to be
27 अरे तुम मेन आईडी ना कविश वाली ना
They have a site open somewhat. Well, Forsaken didn't quite get the memo as he's
हाँ एडेड है अरे ये रहा KVI हाँ KVXSS बताती हुई है थ्रॉट
So you work around the spike instead.
हाँ तो यही बोलेंगे ना अभी आएगा अभी खाली रजिस्ट्रेशन चालू है schedule नहीं आया
no connection so far. Still, the crossfire establishes such a good one. Something is pivotal, and he will hold on for that opening kill. Here's where maybe it starts to break down if something falls, but you just can't deal with him. Headshots getting handed out. 3 haircuts from something. I don't think there's any way back in here for GE with the time that they've got available. They've got to hunt so deep into the defensive spawn to try to find something.
मैं क्या throw कर रही भाई GE भाई उम्मीद ही नहीं है भाई अब
to eventually clear out. And PRX will win themselves another round. They're up to 8 and
दोनों ही throw कर रही भाई
GE with
If you're not a good shot.
A lot of chances starting to go begging again.
I wanted to see if it was possible though, Jordan. I mean,
the kill ho gaye, 30 ho gaye.
So low. He tried to do the same jumping right click that Forsaken did back again. That pistol round, but unfortunately it didn't quite happen this time around. I mean, the shots from the PRX team are just on point today. 18 kills and only 7 deaths and away from a dimensional drift. He had some big bamboozles against T1 that game yesterday. Would do it again as well.
वो अभी भी double digit लिया.
Big ult. Right now it's just a one-way smoke. Forsaken trying to keep them invested while the rest of the team from PRX start to bait out more pieces of
फिर उधर लगा.
Quite off more than you can chew there as Forsaken, but he gets out okay.
Throwers है भाई, छोड़ भाई.
Info into middle, he spots a couple of players, but did not see something who had already progressed up the angle. And so gets his head ripped off. Good trade from Harvey, still trying to hold on to that position. And well, Autumn is kind of tucked away with Unitán coming in from middle on the flank.
Mid.
That's a bit more like it for Global Esports. PRX not getting away with too much in this round so far. There's still a chance though. Forsaken's picked one back. Retrievable as of yet. Unitán.
Kala nikala round
now
nikala.
And then there was just Forsaken. I mean, what a round. The calling again. Javi, the quarterback of Global Esports. Much needed. Controlling all
nice
down
one.
towards middle way. He gets the read against PRX. And this is what Frost was talking about as well. Although they might not have exactly the same
nikal diya.
Frost told Javi, welcome to the big leagues. Now you're playing against the best especially in the form of PRX. But this is exactly where he belongs. This is where he's comfortable. He gets the read against them. He figures out where they're trying to end up. And as soon as that flash goes through, it sends them out to a bit of a stall where Unitán comes in on the flank. More rounds like that, please. Autumn now close to an ult. PRX still has the buys. 1-3-1 once again as they try to get a good read for what G's intention is.
Tantalizing prospect on offer here if GE can start to put together a string of rounds on the defense.
VCT कम football match ज़्यादा.
An offer for them certainly.
TP red. Unfortunately, 0 point was already tossed out as well, so if Javi wants to check in towards main, it's going to have to be a bit of a jump feed. Meanwhile, just the wall.
वो C पे क्यों जा रही है तेरी team?
PRX can switch things up on a dime if they want.
Damn, bro.
Javi might be none the wiser.
Enemy mark.
Autumn spotted out in middle. Batman though, on the alternative angle. So it was a bait and switch, and GE holding on for the moment. Dimensional drift is something into the site. That's a problem as the flash connects as well onto Batman. And now the site's starting to fall. 3v3, still not a done deal just yet for PRX, especially considering the proximity of the GE defenders, who are now starting to be pushed away by that util. The orb forcing them away, plan secured.
Autumn just get one kill. That could be huge. Running back into sight.
Yeah, the drone not finding
Man advantage है फिर भी भाई.
Going up. Go. Try and isolate a couple of these fights on the side, but the dark cover comes through really nicely for PRX. Makes it awkward as they try to push their way in onto Jing. He dislodges a couple, and again, it turns onto the shoulders of Crystal, who once again will have to be the clutch master for the team, and it just feels like the odds are insurmountable against him. PRX go to 9.
3v3 2v1 हो गया भाई. वो भी हग दिए भाई.
It's crazy because he put on such a nice 3v1 clutch
भाई हग दिए भाई.
earlier on in the playoffs against
9-7
over on Pearl, if you remember, but just not having any success today.
Oh, the map was banned out. Look at this. I mean, it's just so many beautiful
मेरे को भी होता है बट
G invested on multiple ends of the map with drones, with utilities,
Sweat.
and then to end up back on A. Javi tried his best to slow them down with a pretty good molly, but something with the dimensional drift. And that's now big momentum for PRX.
इसका ये बहुत crazy है भाई.
Wow, Autumn. Yeah, set up nicely. Does get pushed back away, but you'll take that as a start. It obviously forces the res out of Jing. In fact, 2 kills in the round, but you wouldn't know.
The wall at the very least. And then all the information outside of AG wants to wrap around.
PRX taking that space quite happily. GE need a little bit of a miracle here. They don't really have the weapons to work with. Autumn on a close line. Flash is going through. Paranoia as well. Now a drone. It is too much to deal with for both Autumn and Harvey as they are just picked apart on the site. And Yudatan trying to come in as a reinforcing flank will not have any success either. PRX will be the first team to hit double digits on this map as well.
Spike planted. Last player
It
standing.
doesn't seem likely for Pat. Unfortunately, final kill collected by Forsaken. And it's just one of these moments where
the flash pull out.
again, they had a possible start thanks to Autumn's efforts, but
भाई मैं तो देख ही नहीं रहा.
felt as though it was possible for them with
वही तो
Crystal's
देख रहा
ult
हूँ.
to be able to slow down PRX and come back in on the flank, but they didn't have the guns. And then the duels all lost as PRX just stormed the front into B site.
कितना easy picks दे रहे भाई, easy picks भाई.
Straw that breaks the camel's back.
10-7.
GE with a weakened arsenal. Final timeout.
Yeah, and you're starting to get the feeling right now as GE, as a GE fan, that maybe that sinking feeling in your gut is going to be realized, that there is no great comeback, that there is no reverse sweep, that there's no one that's going to save the day. They've got a last few rolls of the dice, obviously this timeout being one of them. But chances are now running out and the story becomes less about global esports and more about PRX.
Multiple players showing up on the PRX side. A little bit less to be said for GE, looking pretty cooked. I mean, Alex was talking about it after the recent loss against GE, that a big problem was Pat. He knows how we operate, you know, the system and the timings of it all. He didn't know the exact plays, but he found gaps within PRX's approach. Where is that Pat today? He's been trying, but it's a big but.
Yep. They call him Postman Pat, but there's no post on Saturdays apparently.
Fan factor
PRX on the other hand, off the timeout, just to take a slow and default approach. The wall comes up and they know how they want to work around it, just to break down.
एक round है, निकाल दे खत्म कर.
Well, Yudatan trying to find a duel against something at the moment. He is having a very rough map.
Off to the other side, though, PRX peel off in towards middle. Crystal hangs back.
Getting so much map control so easily at the moment. Wall will provide safe passage in towards B. He's just going to go past it. That's unorthodox, and it hasn't worked out. Forsaken down as well. So all of a sudden, maybe there's some life back in here for GE. They look to continue to try to hold on to B. Dark cover.
Rihanna भाई.
Something. We'll see if he can be the X factor right here. Autumn deals with him. Curveball around the corner. Catches Envy, but Device saves him.
Last player standing.
Will not seem like it
देख
will
रहा
matter.
भाई.
Here, a 4v1 is too much to ask.
Nice
GE
one,
are
10-8.
not going down without a fight. You have to give them that credit. But have they got enough in them to push this through to a fourth map?
You certainly hope so. The
Man
score
advantage,
is
yes.
still
जीत गए.
shifting to a way more defensive setup. They almost got peeled off of it, but thanks to Javi's wall and calling, he found out exactly what the plan was. They managed to get in close enough. The players hold up inside a boathouse, and they managed to gun down something and Devi. That's what's been needed. 2 rounds now separate the two teams. GE fans, do you believe?
Winnable match.
Set up 2-3 setup. B main, nothing found. Just a pop flash, maybe a swing.
Already it's been disrupted by PRX. Rez straight away onto Patman, but Hunter's Fury looking for it. And Harvey can't get away. There's nowhere to run against this PRX team right now. Autumn also taken down. GE are on their last legs.
One enemy.
Easy pickings. PRX across the map. They are just picking GE apart. Oh dear.
I mean, how do you break a round like this down? Every second,
all पे डाल दे, all
step
पे
of
डाल
the
दे.
way. Nowhere
All
to
पे डाल
run,
दे.
and there's nowhere to hide as well. As soon as you find quick contact outside of A, Forsaken's TP'd all the way across.
भाई मैं तो relax हो गया हूँ भाई.
Something's trying to hold up with position, and he gets another player
मेरा
down.
तो हो गया भाई.
GE, try as they might, they're getting their legs and limbs all cut off. A flawless brought up, and then one away from series points. This is the last possible buy that GE has afforded to them.
Now or never for global esports. Like I said, that fairy tale run into the playoffs, they did such a great job to get here. They pushed it all the way to a top 3. But it might end at the hands of PRX. Suspects otherwise! Picks up a 3K, keeps G in the fight. Spike's dropped there as well.
हटाना है तो नहीं है
Forsakens as well. Justified to try to sneak through, and unless he's somehow able to come up with a colossal multi-kill, this should not be happening.
साले
2v5 on Lotus from PRX. Surely you don't want to see it again. A couple of isolated duels here. Forsaken is looking for them. Can't quite get the better of Crystal in the end.
Position locked in. Divide surely soon enough.
ये भी हो जाता तो हो जाता बस.
No shot.
Walking out of smoke.
11-9 पे.
And it's another round that was brought up by Autumn's efforts. The sole OCE representative. A guy that has been carrying the region on his back, you might say, out to China. Now back onto home ground Pacific, where he's been saying this is his best team yet. The chemistry is just off the charts. He's loved every moment with how they've been able to qualify for the international. You would love to see him at least take this map off of paper with the team.
And then over till it's over. GE are fighting hard. Still trying to throw a spanner in the works.
मुझे दे
getting it together on this map. Goes down early on in the round, down to
पता है मुझे स्पाइडी ऊपर ही है 43 की स्ट्रिप हो जा.
GE have to find a way to dig themselves out of trouble.
At least Autumn has to run it back.
साले स्पाइडी ने तो डिफ दिया है चुप.
Forsaken is doing breaking
ऑटम ने बेस्ट दिया है. हाँ ऑटम ने तो अपना बेस्ट दिया है भाई.
Soon enough, all 5 into B. Orange is the 4. Autumn goes in to check.
Yeah. Not going to be seeing anything.
तो एक आधी बार मार दिया और
a B hit, dimensional drift, and something is already into the site. Crystal onto Divide. Doesn't even matter as there's that resin.
Yeah, it just might be a little bit too late. The Hunter's free to try to bring things back in as well, and PRX just has all the advantage. The spike, the initiative, now they're pushing in.
वो blinded था.
Towards spawn. The wall is going to give away the position of Patman as well. He might get a freebie onto G. He won't even get that. It's all falling apart for Global Esports. PRX are looking for that series point. And it can only be Autumn to stand between them and that, but
ये कौन सी आइडिया?
What can you really expect from one guy?
कहाँ गया?
Not too much. He's tried and tried, but unfortunately the burden a little bit too heavy to bear. I mean,
अबे इधर कैसे पहुँच गया? क्या हुआ?
It was way too late. Even with the Hunter's Fury.
by the time they got
close within the site, by the time they
throttle गाड़ी से वही खेल रहा होगा throttle.
It was way too late. They didn't have space.
ये missed है.
Within range of closing out the series now.
Flash around the corner. GE are still trying to.
भाई OZ.
Scuffled by.
ये मैच क्या चल रहा है देखना तो.
Space outside of 8.
Oh, that's a good kill for Crystal to grab. Divide down early. He's still in the fight.
साले तो अच्छा कब खेलता है.
Judge in hand, and something's position is going to be noted. So this could get a little bit awkward. He continues his way forward, but he.
अबे तो भाई अटैक भी नहीं निकाल पाई थी भाई.
Doesn't really slow PRX down all that much. They're still trying to make their way out onto
G की बात कर रहा हूँ. हम तो G को support करते हैं.
Side of the smoke, he picks his timing nicely, but Crystal has fallen on the site, so spike plant might be available here.
है कुछ reasons बताता हूँ बाद में.
He picked up, but GE trying to buy time for the rotations to come in.
It's not over yet. King in the 1v3, this guy is an absolute menace. And the type of player that could get this over the line for PRX. Been smoked off on the left side, but can still peek out the right. It won't matter. Patman
ऐसा है.
Gives GE another chance.
Shows up at the right place. Almost comes close to it, but thankfully, just being able to control, cut off something as he tries to open up other parts of the map. And Crystal finally showing up. with the little 1v1s thanks to this setup. I mean, this is another one of those very crafted rounds. You have the wall, it's a bit of information, it's a bit of an angle for Crystal to work around. Two more, and we might have our first overtime in Ho Chi Minh.
अटैक तो निकाल दिया भाई, अभी ओटी जाने के चांसेस लग रहे भाई.
Shieldless and Odin. Is this gonna work?
Very disparate looking GE, even though they've just won that round. This is where, as a GE fan, you've got to send every prayer you know. See them get into this OT. Something under a bit of pressure here. He's going to try to gate crash out. Looks like he'll be safe in the end. GE certainly doing a good job of unsettling PRX in this round, though. With that said, they're trying to walk their way out onto A, and Forsaken, it will not work. Crystal waiting patiently. Drone v drone warfare as they go past one another and get the info that's required.
And now you have everything needed. A lot of information, but at the same time, not too much towards the rest of the site. You only have that wall blocking off B main, so you expect PRX.
मैंने क्या बोला? मेरे को बैन क्यों लगा?
कहाँ बैन लगा?
And G has to time this just right.
स्क्रीन शेकर.
अरे हट गया बैन, ठीक हो गया, फिर लग गया. क्या चल रही है? मेरे को बैन लगे जा रहा है बार-बार.
कितना?
एक सेकंड का बैन लग रहा है.
मैच में
One mistake could cost GE this game.
Everyone holding an individual.
मैच में हो गया.
आजा बैक स्टेप चल.
Caught on the timing. Udotan having an impact when it
Heal.
No. Batman will fall. Crystal caught on the jump. No, not like this. PRX are making their way into the A site. Harvey is trying to do as best as he can. Flash will delay, but he cannot hold on for long enough. And PRX now have that.
1 HP, 78 DO.
फायर में मर गया मैं तेरे उसमें पता है.
With that, their hopes and dreams of
78 DO.
Full sense also going with it. Udotan will hold on for one.
Diffuse कर.
Gets the all forward.
तेरे पे भरोसा ही नहीं है उसको.
उसको देख के डिफ्यूज कर बोल रहा था. तो पीक ले लिया उसी टाइम.
It's a good setup here for PRX. Can they hold? No is the answer.
देखा मैंने बोला ना सेट जिता देगा. देखो उसने मुझे हिल दिया, हम जीत गए.
Just one more for overtime.
अरे
The slows,
ये
the plays,
भाई आप असेंबली का माइक क्यों यूज कर रहे हो
everyone
स्कूल
had their
वाले?
job to do and performed it they did.
तेरा डबल
Came so
आवाज आ रहा है
close.
भाई.
A couple of kills
अरे
brought
कुछ
back by
गलत आ गया.
PRX.
इन गेम बोल रहा है.
अरे म्यूट करना, इन गेम म्यूट कर दे जो
कर
डिस्कॉर्ड में.
दिया मेरे को इनके म्यूट
ओडिन बस ठीक ही है, बस
म्यूट
एक
नहीं करता तो मैं
चाहिए
रिपोर्ट
होता
करने
है.
वाला था. देख ले मेरा हाथ पहुंचने वाला था.
वैसे अरे एपे जाना, एपे जाके वॉल करा.
Performance needed. Just one more round now.
भाई ओटी आ रहा है. ओसी पहला मैच.
ओटी नहीं आएगा.
Team up here. One more round and then we get an OT.
Res available.
उन पे बाय नहीं है अच्छा.
अरे
क्या मारा तूने? क्या किया?
नाइस वन.
Look at this push from GE. They're going to walk right into Divide.
घुस के मारो भाई, घुस के मारो.
Nice one.
Surely can't deal with
मार भाई, मार.
ऐसे मेरा.
He might deal with one of
ऐसे मेरा.
मत देना इस. एस लेना इसका.
अरे ऐसे मेरा.
एस लेना इसका.
मत करो भाई.
मत दो इसको एस.
2v3 नो
नो एस.
भाई 3-0 करके खत्म.
कुत्ता ऐसा ही. अरे ले लकी क्लिप देख तो एक बार स्क्रीन शेयर देखो, क्लिप देखो. अरे नहीं देखो.
Well, now it is
खत्म
just
भाई.
the surface of
वो
full sense.
थ्रॉटल भाई ये लास्ट में क्या हो गया?
Another Pacific title.
भाई
भाई
हो गया भाई.
मेरा भी हो गया भाई.
अरे हार गई.
हार गई क्या? मैंने देखा नहीं था. अच्छा हार गई.
क्रेजी ना.
थ्रॉटल सुन.
मेरे को देखना ही ना था, मैंने वो छोड़ दिया.
गलत टीम का तूने ले लिया परमिशन.
स्ट्रीम कर रहा है लोड़े.
काट देंगे.
ये जो सेज ने मुझे फंसाया है ना.
नीचे बैठो ना.
अरे वो क्या है ना, मेरे को भी किल्स चाहिए थोड़े.
टोटल अरे नीचे बनाता है तेरा वीसी ओजी.
अरे चेंबर के साथ क्या कर रहा है तू?
अरे वो मर रहा है, मेरी गलती थोड़ी है.
Storylines for this matchup. Obviously,
जा
PRX going forward.
Right.
I don't know that that's too much of a surprise. They have
हाँ,
been
इधर
one of the
बैठो.
best teams in the world
दिखा
for a long time. and
देखो
they
क्या
are
हुआ है
going
उसके साथ अभी.
a long
Just
way
अभी
to
क्या हुआ
proving
है.
that again. Of course, we have to
अरे
recognize
नहीं यार,
the
104,
Pacific here
जेड
in
104.
Pacific. They are standing tall and they made their
रुक
way
जा, पहले
through
मार
that
लेता
grand
ना, मैं पहले
final.
जिता
It's gonna be a
देता ना.
battle
बैक साइड पे.
tomorrow. Full
उसी
sense
को ही
versus
कहा.
PRX. Talking about
104.
Privy
Nice,
maybe being
nice,
the
great.
उसी लाइव है ना.
Pacific, maybe the best player in the world. Some people
इधर ही
would like
है.
to say so. And then
Pillar के
the
पास।
word on the street is that maybe
अबे
Pacific
साले बोल रहे थे
have
तू
got
इधर
the
है
best team in the
क्या?
world.
ओए मेरे अकाउंट से कौन खेल रहा है?
So I think a very
ये
enticing prospect with the best
ये
team
खेल रहा था,
as
विजी
the
खेल
best
रहा था।
player.
हाँ
तो
जी हारे।
120 भाई।
यार जीत जाएंगे मैं।
मेरा तो
अभी
रैंक अप
किसके वजह से
मैच
हारे
है।
देखना, डेविल के अकाउंट से मिस खेल रहा था।
On the other side of
तूने
the
मिस
court
का
as well.
किल नहीं देखा है तूने।
Global
ये देख चेम्बर के साथ
first playoffs, they made a top.
चलो गाइस, बाय 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 बाय।